Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Swing by today and get road trip ready with our always free pre-trip safety check. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Trying to lose some weight and get in shape? Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club provides a clean and friendly workout environment with professional and experienced staff to help you achieve your goals. They offer state-of-the-art equipment, indoor tennis and pickleball courts, certified personal trainers, tons of group exercise classes. They're the best exercise facility in the Klamath Basin. Plus, they now have a smoothie bar to give you a nutritious boost after your workout. See and feel the difference at Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. It's the place to be.
Come on! Are you ready for it? The Coach's Corner with head coach Alex Stewart is brought to you by Abby's Legendary Pizza.
Welcome back to the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960 Sports. We are about 10 minutes away from kickoff between the HENLEY Hornets and the Crook County Cowboys. I'm joined now by head coach Alex Stewart. I think you started out the season that everyone wants to start the season, 2-0. You guys made that jump from week 1 to week 2. A lot of improvement there. That's what every team strives for. What did you see from your guys in week 1 to week 2?
Yeah, it's been exciting to start out 2-0 and also see that there's so much more that we can be doing better. And there's at every level of our team, offense, defense, special team, each position group, there's things that can be improved. I actually thought our operation was cleaner in week 1 than it was in week 2. Thankfully, we still made enough plays in week 2 to be successful, but the focus this week, thankfully, we've been able to be out on the field every day for practice, which we haven't had in a while, so that's been really nice, but the focus has been cleaning up our operation, snap count, no penalties, taking care of the football.
Talking about the defensive side of the ball, you guys were really humming against Wairika, and it seems again that you've got a couple linebackers that stand out each and every week, Northcutt, and I'm sure I'm forgetting a few names as well, but these guys are really flying around. What are you seeing from your linebacker core?
They're playing with a lot of confidence. We've done as much as we can to keep things simple this year so they can fly around and make plays, and our linebackers have done a really good job of that, but that's just credit to our defensive linemen for keeping them off our linebackers.
Talk about what you saw from Tolson Higgins these past couple of weeks. It seems like, it's odd watching him play because he can run someone over just as quick as he can turn on the jets and go for 40 yards. What do you see from Tolson and what does he bring to the team?
He's been a real emotional leader for our group this year. I've been proud of him and his leadership. And on offense and defense, he's been playing really hard with high effort, and guys really benefit from that example and have been following him.
What do you see from Crook County this week? Have you seen much film on them? What are we expecting from them?
It's the most physical team we've played so far. They're always well coached. They have some guys that could really beat us offensively and defensively, so we have to be more locked in than we've been the first 2 weeks.
And how do you expect to get there?
Good week of practice, good mental preparation today in our walkthrough time, a little bit more film study, and we'll be ready to go.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Swing by today and get road trip ready with our always free pre-trip safety check. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
The Star-Spangled Banner performed by the Henley Choir, directed by Henley football coach Christopher Benjamin. He does a really great job with that choir, but it's all happening before the football game this evening. Henley finally here at home. They are playing the Crook County Cowboys. But just real briefly before kickoff tonight, we know these are not the only games going on in the area. For example, Mazama playing Cascade. They are at Mazama High School today. We'll be getting score updates from that powerhouse of a game a little bit later on in the broadcast. As far as the Skyline Conference, Hidden Valley playing Banks tonight. North Valley is on the road against Cottage Grove. Phoenix plays Elmira. Some other games in the Basin tonight. Cross Point Christian on the road against Falls City. Bonanza is hosting Gold Beach. Lost River plays Grant Union. I believe that game is on Saturday. And Tule Lake is playing Chester. Looks like it's about time for the captains to meet at midfield, which means we will take a break. Garrett Northcutt along with Colby Scholes. You also have Tolson Higgins and Colton Smith, the captains for Henley tonight as they go out and meet at midfield. When we come back, it'll be time for kickoff from Bill O'Brien Field at Henley High School. You've got the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960 Sport.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Welcome back to 104.3 and 960 Sports. The MyBasin.com Game of the Week brought to you by Les Schwab Tires as well. Come on in, get a free pre-trip safety check at Les Schwab Tires if you plan on taking any trips up until, throughout the end of the year. Les Schwab Tires will help you out. They've got 3 locations in Klamath Falls, 2 in Klamath Falls, one on South 6, one on Washburn Way, and then one out in Merrill. They've been doing the right thing since 1952. Captains meeting at midfield tonight. So my name is Josh Eldridge, joined by Kevin Petrick and Nick Bradford running the live stream tonight. If you're listening on the radio and you'd like to watch this game, we've got an HD video feed on mybasin.com. As the coin flip is in, Henley's captains. It's going to be Tolson Higgins, Garrett Northcutt. Along out there is Colton Smith. And Henley has won the coin toss. They have deferred to Crook County, who will receive. And Henley, for the second week in a row, wins the coin toss. They defer, and we'll be kicking things off to start this first quarter.
We're going to want to keep an eye right away on a gentleman by the name of Braden Duke for Crook County, and he's kind of the Tolson Higgins of their program. He's their leading rusher. He's their leading tackler. He's going to be someone Henley's going to need to focus on and contend with on both sides of the ball. So we'll see how that plays out.
Braden Duke, 12th in the state at the 4A level in rushing yards, with 158 coming in to this evening. PA announcer this evening, welcome everyone back to Bill O'Brien Field on the campus of Henley High School. So glad that you chose us for your Friday night, as Henley is lining up for their kickoff. Crook County tonight in their blue helmets with white uniforms, got dark numbering with sort of yellow trim. Blue pants tonight. Henley in their all blacks. They've got yellow trim around what would be numbers, but it's all blacked out. They look pretty stylish tonight, don't you think, Kevin?
Yeah, I like that uniform combination. We've got quite a crowd.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, more folks than I even expected. So it's nice to see everybody turn out for the first homer of the season.
Always a big night. The cheerleaders are out. We got the band down on the track. We had the choir. The student section's nice and filled out. You can definitely tell it's time for football.
Yeah, it's almost like it used to be.
Yes.
Which is very nice.
Once upon a time. Back to receive for the Cowboys is going to be Kyrie Willis and Eddie Freyoff. Owen Sheen kicking things off. More of a ground ball, bounces right back to the 50-yard line, and Henley recovers. They're going to take over at the 47-yard line. And they kicked a line drive right to number 50 for Crook County. Levi Gruber, it bounced off his toes and was recovered by Owen Sheen, and that's a great way to start things out if you're the Henley Hornets.
Well, that was a nice surprise, and you don't see the kicker retrieve many onside kicks, but nicely done by Owen there, and Henley ends up with the football.
Shaw Stork, the starting quarterback tonight for the Henley Hornets, has already thrown 6 touchdowns on the season. He's got 1 wide receiver out to the far side, 2 off to his left on the near side as Henley drives from left to right across your screen. Tolson Higgins taking the handoff to the near side. He cuts up the sideline and gets a gain of 13 yards. And Higgins getting things started in a big way for the Hornets, getting their first down of the night.
We'll be calling Tolson's name a lot tonight. That was a fine run. He got a nice block from Colton Smith on the near side here to spring him for a first down gain.
Colton Smith now lining up on the far side. Tolson Higgins still back there with Shaw Stork. Shaw's got 1 wide receiver set out to the near side. Shaw, he's also trying to direct traffic, make sure his lineman knows what the assignments are. Crook County, they've got some powerful kids up front. Hand off to Tolson again, tries to take it right up the gut, fights through some contact, brings it up past the 25, down at the 21. Call that a gain of 19 yards for Tolson Higgins on his second carry of the night.
That was a big hole. The right side of that line opened it right up for Tolson. And Henley's trying to show their running game dominance here early.
3 wide receivers set out to the far side. Colton Smith in the slot. Tolson Higgins off to the right side of Shaw Stork as they take this one from the near hash. 1st and 10 from the 22, deep into Cowboy territory. Shaw takes a snap, handing it off to Tolson again. Comes up the near side, breaks 1 tackle, is dragged down after a gain of 5. He's down at the 17-yard line. It'll be second down for the Hornets.
That was a little bit bottled up inside, but Tolson made a nice decision to go off tackle, and he picked up 5.
10:42 to go in the first quarter. Out there for Henley tonight, Owen Sheen, Austin Fitz, and Colby Scholes, part of the wide receiving core. Tolson Higgins, the starting running back. We'll get the line for you after this. 2nd and 5 for the Hornets. Stork takes the snap. Play action, this time passing it over to the near side. Smith is able to make the reception and picks up 7 yards as well. 1st and 10 from the 9-yard line. Henley, 1st and goal.
That's a nice way to mix it up. We've been talking about Henley's balance all season, and after all of those fine runs, they fake the run. Nice little pass to the left side.
Sophomore Braden Morris starting at center for Henley. Also on the offensive line, Juan Manzo, Emiliano Ortiz, Owen Northcutt, and Nate Tappan. First and goal for the Hornets from the Cowboy 9-yard line. One wide receiver set out to the far side of Shaw. He's got Higgins off to his left. Snap taken. This time it's kept by Stork. He tries to go back outside, stands up after deflecting the tackle, and gets up about another 4 yards. Gets down within the 5, mark it down at the 2-yard line, so a 7-yard rush for Shaw. Stork on the keeper, and able to stay on his feet, showing good athleticism there.
Yeah, we know Shaw makes good decisions and that he's fast, but right there he showed a little strength. He was churning those legs right out of that tackle, and he almost scored.
9:38 to go in the first quarter of a scoreless ball game, and Henley is driving. The 6th play of the drive coming up. It's second and goal from the 2-yard line, taking it from the left hash. Tolson Higgins off the left side of Shaw. Stork, he's got 2 guys near Colton Smith, the farthest in the slot as well. He's got, I believe that's Colby Scholes. A fumble on the transfer to Tolson Higgins, and I believe Crook County is going to have fallen on it. First turnover of the game for Henley, only their second of the season.
Yeah, we saw one of those last week, just a tough exchange between Tolson and Shaw, and the ball hit the ground. Palmer Smith picked that thing up for Crook County, and they get a nice turnover.
First and 10 for the Cowboys deep in their own territory. They take over at their own 5-yard line with 9.5 to go in the first quarter. Starting quarterback, number 11, a junior, 5'8", Palmer Smith. For the Crook County Cowboys, he's got 2 wide receivers, one to either side and 2 backs in the backfield. Takes a snap, and he's going to keep it himself. Coming up the near side, he cuts upfield. He's up past the 20, now getting up to 30. Cutting up the near sideline is taken out of bounds at the 45-yard line. And on the carry for for Crook County, that is Braden Duke, the senior, 5'10", 190 pounds. And Kevin, you mentioned him before the game. That's a big, tall kid, and he's running like it after that first play.
Yeah, 1 carry, and he's already got a load of yards. Tyler Harper was there to bump him out of bounds. Need to keep an eye on him.
So for Crook County, they've got Braden Duke to the left side of Smith, and then they've got number 4, Garrett Cobb, to the far side. Kind of a 2-back set going on. First and 10 from the 45. Crook County, it is going to be kept by Smith. He's wrapped up in the backfield and brought down for a loss. That'll bring up 2nd and 11.
Braden Roach and Tolson Higgins on the tackle there. That was a nice stop. Short gain.
Second and 11 from the Crook County 44. Still 2 backs in the backfield with Palmer Smith. Henley packing the box just a little bit. Smith trying to direct traffic. He sends a man in motion. That's Guzzi. This time it's going to be handed off to Cobb. Cobb breaks 1 tackle, is wrapped up and brought down by Northcutt. Did get back to the line of scrimmage, though. It'll be 3rd and 11.
Garrett doing a nice job reading that play. Crook County showing Henley something new. They have 2 backs in the backfield, and they do a lot of misdirection. And if you're not paying attention, it's hard to see where the ball's going. They do a lot of misdirection, and those linebackers really need to focus and see where the ball is going.
8:13 to go in the first quarter. Still a scoreless ball game. Crook County driving. It's 3rd and 11 from their own 45-yard line. Palmer Smith takes the snap. Play action pass, keeps it himself, tries to throw it over the middle, but the pass incomplete. That brings up 4th for the Cowboys.
Henley showed this in the last couple of games where they may give up a big play, but I'm really impressed on how they come back. It doesn't get them down, and a good set of downs here for the Henley defense. It's going to bring up 4th and about 11.
Without a doubt, we talked about it in the pregame. Crook County is going to present a different test tonight, but Henley, the mental toughness of these kids already showing through on the first drive. And it looks like Crook County going to keep the offense out there on 4th and 11. And a bit of an odd formation. It will, in fact, be a punt as the punter backs up last second. That ball will bounce around the 20 and roll up to the 10. Finally come to a stop at about the 7-yard line. So call it a 47-yard punt. 47-yard punt. And that is where Henley will start their second drive of the game with 7:45 to go in the first quarter. They're going to take it from their own 7-yard line.
That was a nice piece of field position play there by Crook County. They showed that they weren't going to punt, then they kind of shifted into it. Didn't really fool Henley, but they got a nice bounce on the kick. And Henley's going to start deep.
Just as Crook County did. They started their last drive at the 5. Henley now starting at the 7. 1st and 10. Stork has got Higgins off to his right side. He's also got 2 receivers out to either side of him. Stork takes the snap, hands it off to Higgins, finds a little bit of a hole, and plunges forward for a gain of 4. That brings up 2nd down for the Hornets.
I like how Henley does that. They show 4 receivers split to either side, yet they'll still run the ball. So you may be expecting pass with that set, but they will run with a single back.
One of the guys on the near side, Colby Scholes, a senior wide receiver. He's being hounded by Kyrie Willis on the defensive side for Crook County. Stork has got Higgins off to his right. Takes the snap, hands it off to Higgins. Higgins coming up the near side, sheds one defender, cuts upfield and tries to power through another. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. Good for a Henley 1st down.
Tolson having pretty good luck off tackle on that right side so far. And despite the turnover, Henley is moving the ball very well here. That's a 1st down.
That is the 3rd Henley 1st down of the game. They're on their 2nd drive. Last time it was a Tolson Higgins fumble that caused a turnover. 1st and 10 for the Hornets from their own 20-yard line as they drive upfield. You can hear the cheerleaders in student section. It's a nice night in September. 1st and 10 for the Hornets. 6.5 to go in a scoreless 1st quarter. Shaw takes the snap, a play-action pass, decides to keep it himself. Instead is going to find a receiver on the far side, cutting up the far sideline and taken out of bounds after a gain of 14. That's a 1st down for Henley.
That's a nice call by Coach Pashy there. Austin Fitz was all by himself. He didn't have a defender within about 10 yards on that far side of the field, and another 1st down.
That's the 2nd 1st down in 3 plays on this drive for the Hornets. It's going to be 1st and 10. Henley from their own 36-yard line. Colby Scholes set up on the near side. Only wide receiver to Shaw's right. Shaw takes a snap, drops back to pass, tries to throw it over the middle. The pass falls incomplete. Intended target over the middle, I believe, was Owen Sheen.
That was good coverage by Eddie Froth there for the Cowboys, and it's nice to see Shaw's not having to hurry back there. He has enough time to set his feet and throw. So the passing game, it'll come around here. 2nd down and it's like 10.
All right, 2nd and 10 from the Henley 36-yard line. 5:52 to go in a scoreless 1st quarter. 3 wide receivers set out to the near side for Shaw Stork. He's also got Higgins to his right. Stork dropping back to pass, feels pressure, tries to curl out to his right side, gets off one defender, now goes left, feeling the pressure and completes a pass. There is a flag down. The pass was caught in the backfield, it looks like by Northcutt, but a flag is down. And we'll look to our Whitecap tonight, David Van Horn, for the call.
That was a nice bit of scrambling by Shaw. He's great at that, buying himself some time, and he made what he could out of that play.
Well, he kept the play alive for as long as he could as well, shedding off one defender and trying to make a play. They're waving off the flag. So that pass will go for negative yardage. It'll be 3rd and about 13, maybe a long 12 for Henley. There's still laundry out on the field. I'm sure that they'll pick it up. And we're ready to go after the completed pass on 2nd down. It's 3rd and 12 for the Hornets. Shaw Stork handing this one off to Higgins, who's trying to cut up the near side. Cuts upfield at the 40 and is dragged down. Oh, he stays up at the 41. Call it a gain of about 7 on the play, still short of the 1st down. So it'll be 4th and about 6 to go for the Hornets. We'll see, their field position. They're at their own 46-yard line. I have a feeling we're going to see the punting unit come out for the Hornets.
Everybody was thinking pass there, and Henley tried to be sneaky and pull a running play, but just not quite enough for the 1st down. We'll see our first punt for the Hornets.
Back to receive for the Crook County Cowboys is Kyrie Willis, a senior, 6 foot tall, 155 pounds. A high snap to the punter. It goes up. He kicks it from the 35. It's caught on the other side of midfield at the 20. Brings it up to the 30, and a good return. And apologies there, that was actually Eddie Freyoff on the return, a sophomore, 6'3". About a 40-yard punt coming out for Henley there, and Crook County will start their second possession of the game from their own 30-yard line with 4:37 to go in the first quarter. You've got the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960 Sports. My name is Josh Eldridge. I'm joined by Kevin Petrick and Nick Bradford running the live stream tonight on MyBasin.com. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys from their own 30. Coming from the near hash, and Smith takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Duke. Duke is a load to take down. It took about 6 or 7 Hornets to take him down for a loss. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Tolson was the first one there. Tolson Higgins with the tackle. And you know that he will be keeping an eye on number 25, Braden Duke.
2nd and 11 for Crook County. A couple wide receivers set out wide. That's going to be Kyrie Willis to the near side. To the far side, it's Eddie Freyoff and Palmer Smith, 2 backs. 2nd and 11. The Crook County offense. A little bit slower. It's a play-action pass. Smith dropping back to pass. He drops it. I believe the intended target there was Garrett Cobb. He had it in his hand and just bounces right out. Incomplete. 3rd down for the Cowboys.
Crook County trying a little play action of their own there, and it should have been good for a few yards, but the receiver mishandled the catch. Tolson Higgins on the coverage out there. He's all over the field.
3rd down for the Cowboys. So far tonight, 0 for 1 on 3rd down conversions. Still 2 wide receivers set out for the Cowboys. It's Willis and Freyoff. And Smith taking the snap, drops back to pass, tries to throw it near side, and the pass is complete to Freyoff for a gain of 7 yards, still short of the 1st down. That brings up 4th for the Cowboys.
Henley doing a good job of knowing down and distance there. Connor Sieben played off the receiver a little bit, but he knew where the 1st down marker was, and he left them about 4 yards short.
It'll be 4th and about 4 to go for the Cowboys, and 3:38 to go in the first quarter, still in a scoreless ball game. It looks like the Cowboys keeping the offense out there, and a timeout is called. Coach Pard Smith, in his 2nd year for the Crook County Cowboys, is going to take his first timeout of the half. We will take one as well. Still scoreless with 3:30 to go in the first quarter between Henley and Crook County. You've got the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
John Bowers Construction and Landscape Maintenance is in urgent need of landscape team members now. Call them at 541-205-1464 to apply. They're also looking for a construction team lead and a landscape maintenance team lead. They offer extremely competitive wages, paid vacation, and so much more. Call John Bowers Construction at 541-205-1464 to apply today. Email johnbowerslandscape@hotmail.com. CCB number 188923. Equal Opportunity Employer.
Welcome back to 104.3 960 Sports. Still scoreless here in the first quarter between Henley and the Crook County Cowboys, making the trip from Prineville tonight, about a 3-hour drive up north, and finding themselves here at Hill O'Brien Field on the campus of Henley High School. It's going to be 4th and 4 for the Cowboys. They are going for it on 4th down. Their first attempt to do so tonight, so 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions. And looks like it's going to be a punt. Same thing as last time, where the kicker backs up last second. The punt is up, is caught out about the 30, bringing it up to the 35 and wrestled down at the 40. The ball goes loose, and I believe the Hornets fell on it at the 46-yard line. So Henley's still going to take over on offense here. The forward motion of the fumble going to end up helping the Hornets, I think.
Heads up, Austin Fitz made a nice play to jump on that football. Henley did not want to have a turnover in that situation, and no harm.
1st and 10 from the Hornet 45-yard line. Colby Scholes is set out to the near side, as is Colton Smith, and Tolson Higgins off to the right side of Shaw Stork. Stork takes the snap, drops back to pass, looks off to his left, now rolling right. He's being chased down and tries to let go of a pass. The intended target was Owen Sheen on the near side, but it falls incomplete. That brings up 2nd down for the Hornets.
Shaw was trying to find Colby Scholes deep, but he was so deep that he just didn't have the arm to throw it that far on the run under pressure like that. So tried to dump it off, and it fell to the turf. We'll have 2nd down.
Clock stopped, 3:09 to go in the first quarter. 2nd and 10 for the Hornets. 2 wide receivers set out to the near side, and Higgins off to the right of Shaw Stork. Dropping back into coverage, the Crook County Cowboys hand it off to Tolson Higgins, who battles through 1 tackle, tugs a couple Cowboys with him for an extra yard, a gain of 4 on the play. That brings up 3rd down for the Hornets, 3rd and about 6.
That was probably Crook County's best defense of the run so far. They kind of had Tolson behind the line, but he still drugged them for 4 yards, so a good effort.
Very difficult to stop a kid like Tolson Higgins. He's 5th in the state at the 4A level in rushing yards. He's got 217 rushing yards on the season. 3rd and 6, the yard to gain, the 45 on the other side of midfield. Henley snapping it from the 49. Stork dropping back to pass, trying to look over the middle, and completes a pass to Austin Fitz at the 40. Fitz dragged out of bounds at the 30. About a 20-yard reception for Henley, and a connection between Austin Fitz and Shaw Stork.
We've seen that a number of times this year. Good route by Austin. Just a simple post across the middle, and he found the gap, and Shaw found him.
1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. The Hornets now driving downfield. Colton Smith set out to the near side for the Hornets. Higgins still off to the right of Shaw Stork. 1st and 10, 1:53 to go in the first. A scoreless ball game between Henley and Crook County. Stork takes the direct snap, takes it himself up the right side. He's got himself a hole, cutting up now past the 20. He's dragged out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Call it a 14-yard gain for Shaw Stork on the ground.
That was a nice designed run. Garrett Northcutt with a nice block, and then a little bit further downfield, Colton Smith on the outside with a good block.
That's the thing about Shaw Stork. He can keep it himself, and he is just as dangerous for Shaw. He's 9th in the state in rushing yards, 168 on the ground. He's also got 1 rushing touchdown this season. Came last week, was a 35-yarder against Wairika. 1st and 10 from the from the Cowboys 17. 3 wide receivers set out to the far side for Henley, and it looks like we're going to have a timeout taken by the Hornets. We're going to stick with you through this one. Henley looking pretty good on this offensive drive so far. This will be the 5th play coming up, and was great field position for them to start. They started at their own 46 and have driven downfield, thrown it once to Austin Fitz, but so far their attack has been mostly on the ground tonight.
Yeah, Henley wants to make this drive count. They've moved the ball very well through this first quarter, but have nothing to show for it on the scoreboard. They want to get in the end zone right now, and I'm sure that's what they're talking about right now. Maybe give Tolson a little break here. Garrett's played the last couple of plays, and we'll see what Coach Pashy and Coach Stork have in mind here.
You think this is a chance, 1st and 10 from the 17, that this might be a play? You get 1 shot at the end zone here, and then you go back to what it's worth, because you're 17 yards out. You get much closer, it's tough to pass.
Sure, they may have something for just this situation drawn up. Sure.
1st and 10 from the Cowboys 17. 1 wide receiver to the near side, and Higgins now off to the left of Shaw Stork. Higgins going to take the handoff, and that's actually Garrett Northcutt who carries it back to the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 2nd down for the Hornets.
That's a nice piece of defense by the Cowboys, and we do see Tolson Higgins coming back into the ball game here.
And, Garrett Northcutt headed to the sideline, pops his cap, and talking with Coach Stork. Coach Alex Stork in his 6th year at the helm of the Henley Hornets. 2nd and 10 from the 17-yard line. Same formation coming out for the Hornets, and they get one of the Cowboys to jump on the hard count. And the flag's coming out.
We haven't seen a lot of penalties tonight. It's been a pretty clean game, but that was a pretty obvious encroachment.
That will move it up 5 yards. 2nd down and 5. The yard to gain is the 7-yard line. Henley taking it now from the 12. Same formation for the Hornets. 3 wide receivers set out to the left of Stork, 1 to the near side. That's the right. Hands it off to Tolson Higgins, who cuts up the right side. Battles through a defender and trying to get into the end zone. Ends up only getting to about the 5-yard line. Still a solid gain for the Hornets. And it'll be a Henley first down.
If there's a go-to play, that's it tonight. Off that right tackle, Tolson's had a lot of success getting some nice blocking over there.
Henley, that was their 7th first down of the night. Now it's 1st and goal from the 5. Tolson Higgins off to the right side. Pardon me, that's Owen Sheen. He's going to take the handoff up the middle and battle through for a Henley touchdown.
That's what Henley's looking for, cashing in on that drive. Tolson had a nice gap in the middle there. And it took him no time to step through it. And just as the first quarter is about to end, Henley gets a touchdown.
3.2 seconds left to go on the first quarter clock, and that is perfect timing for those Hornets. Now coming out to kick the extra point, it'll be Owen Sheen. One of the biggest things the Hornets have worked on this past week has been their special teams. Owen Sheen so far 3rd in the state in terms of points by a kicker. He's 6 of 9. And 6 points to his name so far and puts him at 4th in the state. The kick is up, and it is good. Henley leads 7-0 with 3.2 seconds to go in the first quarter. We're going to take a break and come back. When we do, it'll be second quarter action on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Welcome back to 104.3 960 Sports. The score 7-0. The Henley Hornets lead the Crook County Cowboys. The kickoff after the touchdown was brought out to about the 32 from the Cowboys. And that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. But Kevin, Henley punching it on that last drive. Took them 3 minutes and 13 seconds. They went 53 yards, and they looked pretty good doing it, capping it off with a 10-yard Tolson Higgins touchdown.
Yeah, Henley doing a nice job cutting down the mistakes on that drive, and they definitely have the talent to push the ball down the field. If they can just play cleanly, they can score plenty of points. We've seen that all season.
Going to have to come out on defense now. So far, Henley has had 2 possessions on the defensive side of the ball. Crook County has run 7 plays tonight, and they've done a pretty great job of keeping the Cowboy offense in check, at least so far through the first 12 minutes.
Yeah, that first play, we saw a really long run from Crook County, but since then, Henley's done a nice job of keeping the running game in check.
Score 7-0, the Hornets lead. Crook County coming into tonight's matchup, they were 1-1, and we took a look at them before the game. Kind of tough to get a read on these Cowboys. They lost 26-20 to Ridgeview in the first week. Last week they beat Cottage Grove 32-7. We know what the Hornets can do. They won their first 2 weeks fairly convincingly, so this week presenting a different test. That was Henley's lowest scoring first quarter of the season thus far, but they do lead 7-0. Getting ready for the second quarter of action now as the Crook County Cowboys take over on offense to start their third drive of the game. They start at their own 33-yard line. Last time out, it was a 3-and-out for the Cowboys. Ended up having to punt. I'm sure Henley would love to repeat that performance on defense. Palmer Smith in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to Duke, who powers through for a gain of about 4. It'll bring up second for Crook County.
That was a nice piece of tackling by Connor Sieben. He came from his defensive back spot and made that tackle.
2nd down and 7 for Crook County. 2 wide receivers set out to the far side for Smith, 1 near, and Duke in the backfield. Sending a man in motion. Duke taking the handoff, trying to plunge up the middle. Takes the contact and falls forward about another yard. Call it a gain of 3. 3rd down and 3.
I saw Owen Northcutt along with Tolson Higgins on the tackle there. Man, those linebackers were really, really aggressive to the line these last couple of plays. That might be an adjustment Henley's made here.
Sign of a good linebacking core is making tackles on the running back right at about the line of scrimmage. And Henley, they did it real well against Wairika. They kept the Miners behind the sticks, and so far they're making it difficult for the Cowboys to move the football. 3rd and 3 for Crook County. Smith takes the snap, looks to his left, dumps off a close pass to Duke, who takes contact in the backfield. He's able to battle forward back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1 on the play, but that brings up 4th down for the Cowboys.
We haven't really seen that play yet from Crook County, and Garrett Northcutt did a nice job of sniffing it out, and he's going to put them in a tough spot. 4th and probably 3 here.
We'll see if they decide to do the kind of punt that they did before, or if they decide to go for it here on 4th and 3 from their own 40-yard line. So far tonight, our 0 for 3 on 3rd down conversions have not yet attempted a 4th down conversion.
They're trying to get Henley to jump is what they were doing with that hard count, and it didn't work. Well-disciplined defense for the Hornets.
Crook County taking a timeout, and again, we look at that Crook County team. They're 1-1 coming into play tonight. You mentioned Braden Duke before the start of tonight's broadcast. He's gotten quite a few carries already. He was 12th in the state, 158 rushing yards. Palmer Smith, their quarterback, has got 3 rushing touchdowns on the season. He's also 11th in the state in passing yards. He's got 192 passing yards. He's 20 of 37 coming into tonight. So Crook County, they know they can move the ball. They could score. Obviously, they got 32 points last week, combined 52 on the season. And just looking to try to find a way against this Henley linebacking core who's been making contact at the line of scrimmage all night.
I'm impressed with Henley's defense. They're very disciplined.
Crook County elects to punt on 4th down. It goes sky high and out of bounds. And we'll see where they decide to mark it out at. It's going to be right at the 30. And that is where Henley will take over. Back-to-back 3-and-outs for the Cowboy offense. Gives Henley possession with 10:03 to go in the second quarter.
That was a nice set of downs for Henley there. And we'll see if their offense can kind of pick up where they left off, get some momentum here.
Owen Sheen and Colton Smith going to be lined up to the near side for the Hornets, and Tolson Higgins off to the right of Shaw Stork. 1st and 10 from the Hornet 30. Shaw Stork trying to point out the linebackers. It looks like Crook County is about ready to send the house. They back off just a little bit as the clock's still running. They got to get a playoff sooner than later. Shaw Stork calls for the snap. He takes it. Play action pass. He's going to roll out to his right side. Tries to get up the sideline. Cuts upfield. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 2nd down for the Hornets.
The Cowboys had Henley thinking a little bit there. They looked a little bit confused. Shaw may have even changed the play there and end up with no gain.
2nd and 11. So Stork actually losing a yard on that play. 9:55 and counting in the second quarter, where Henley leads 7-0 over Crook County. You've got the MyBasin.com game of the week on 104.3 and 960 Sports. HD video on MyBasin.com. Three wide receivers set out to the left of Shaw Stork. He decides to hand it off to Tolson up the middle. Higgins gets wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Another loss on the play, and Crook County getting into the backfield, causing trouble for the Hornets. It brings up 3rd and 12.
Dakota Humphreys for Crook County with a nice tackle there. And Hornets going backwards for a couple plays here. We'll see how they respond to this little bit of adversity. 3rd and about 13.
See if it's another one of those opportunities to try to find Austin Fitz over the middle for Shaw Stork. He's got three wide receivers set up to the near side, and Higgins in the backfield. Stork drops back to pass, tries to throw it over the middle, and the pass is caught for a gain of 14 yards and the first down.
There is a penalty, so we'll have to sort this out, but nice throw and catch. Shaw put that on a rope, and Owen made a nice catch near the ground there.
Owen Sheen on the catch, but like you said, there is a flag down in the backfield. It's going to be holding against the Hornets, so this one coming back.
That's unfortunate. That was a nice bit of execution by Henley there, but they'll have to try it again. It was enough for the first down, so Crook County will accept the penalty, I'm sure.
And the officials tonight, David Van Horn, the white cap this evening. Cooper Roberts, the far line judge. And this one is coming back. That'll be 3rd down and very long for the Hornets. 3rd and about 22 yards.
First time we've seen Henley in this position.
Just about all season.
Yeah.
Three wide receivers to the near side. Colton Smith the furthest for Shaw Stork. He's going to roll to his left. He keeps it himself, and he's going to try to take blockers upfield. He cuts up the near sideline. There's a flag down. He's cutting up the sideline. He gets up to the 40 and gets 24 yards, but there is a flag down by the 20.
That's the second time we've seen that on 3rd and long, where they've drawn up a run, trying to trick the defense, and that worked. Enough for the first down. A great run, but we'll see what the penalty flag represents here.
Another holding call against the Hornets. Back-to-back plays. They'll repeat 3rd down, and that'll be 3rd and about 33 yards. Don't think you can have Shaw Stork keep it this time, although he did just rip one off for 24, so
That's
you never know.
true. Well, just as I said, they were disciplined tonight. We've had a few mistakes made, but that will happen. And now they've got a lot of field to play with here.
It's a way to look at it.
Yeah.
Got a lot of room.
Yeah.
Nothing but room, one would say. It'll be 3rd and 33. The yard to gain is the 39. The Hornets, well, they're bringing the ball, it looks like, even further back. Or are they snapping it from the 11? 3rd and 32 is the official measure. With 8:51 to go in the second quarter, the Hornets lead 7-0. Taking it from the near hash as Henley drives from right to left here in the second quarter. Stork play action pass, trying to dump it up near side to Owen Sheen. The pass falls incomplete. Breaking that one up was Garrett Cobb for the Cowboys.
Yeah, Eddie Freehoff, that was a little bit dangerous. He was right there. He could have intercepted that ball. And Hornets might have just got a break to be able to punt this away here on 4th down.
8:38 to go in the second quarter, in which Henley leads thus far 7-0. Back to receive for the Crook County Cowboys is Kyrie Willis. Having a punt from basically their own end zone. The snap goes high, and now trouble for the Hornets, trying to desperately get out of the end zone before a safety, but he steps out of bounds underneath the goal line, and that will be a safety, 2 points for the Cowboys.
Tyler Harper running for his life there. You know, that may have actually worked out better for Henley to take the safety there, because if he had gotten out of the end zone, given Crook County the ball on, say, the 1 or the 2 yard line, they could have marched in for a touchdown. So all things considered, I think Henley's okay with giving up 2 there, and they'll count on their defense to stop the Cowboys on the next possession.
Right, there definitely are worse possessions, and like you said, Crook County is going to be able to get the ball back, so now the onus is on the Henley defense, who has caused back-to-back 3-and-outs.
Yeah, we've talked about how Henley's made all the right moves, all the right adjustments the last 3 games here. Crook County's done a little piece of adjusting as well. Their defense looked terrific on that drive. There were some penalties to help them out, but Crook County definitely came to compete.
Coach Alex Stork down there on the sideline, a little bit frustrated with his team, but I think he understands exactly what you said. There are worse outcomes. You still got a game to play. Can't get too down on yourselves, and you're still up by 5 with 8:29 to go in the second quarter.
Coach Stork is, for the most part, responsible for the defense. He knows defense in and out. He'll yield to Coach Pashy for some of the offense that we see tonight, but Coach Stork's defense looking good.
He was an NAIA national champion in 2014 with the Southern Oregon Raiders. Played, I believe, 1 season at Idaho, so he does know his way around a defense. 8.5 to go in the second, and the kick from the Hornets after the safety goes well over the head of Eddie Freoff, but he makes the catch at about the 15-yard line. Brings it up to the 25 and takes a big hit at the 26. And that is where Crook County will start their 4th possession.
First off, that was a great kick by Owen.
Without a doubt.
I mean, he nailed that over the deep back's head, and then Connor Sieben just flying down the field. He's made some good hard hits tonight. Good tackle by Connor.
Connor Sieben, a senior, standing 6 foot tall, 180 pounds, but got a compact body. He packs a punch.
You'll see him in and out of the game. He'll play some defensive back. And he's pretty good on the edge there of coming up and making the tackle on those run plays.
Crook County taking over with 8:19 to go in the second at their own 26-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. They've gone 3 and out their last 2 possessions. I'm sure they're looking for a change of fortunes. Sending a man in motion. This time it's going to be handed off to Duke, and he is going to fall forward for a gain of about 1.5 yards. That brings up 2nd down for Crook County. And I'm sure Duke is used to picking up these 4-5 yard, carries every now and then, but he's been limited to 1 or 2 yards most of the time, and it's forced Crook County to play 3rd and 4th down quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, Henley's line doing a nice job. Braden Roach kind of threw him to the middle on that one, and it was a short gain.
2nd and 8 for the Cowboys. 2 receivers on either side of Smith. Sending a man in motion and drops back to pass, looks to the near side, and the pass is caught by Willis at the 35. That is where he's brought out of bounds. Call it a gain of 7 on the play. Still just short of the 1st down. It'll bring up 3rd and 1.
Colton Smith and Connor Sieben on the coverage there, and they've been giving them a little bit of room out there because they really haven't had to face that throw yet, but now we'll see if they maybe tighten up the coverage just a little bit.
7:13 to go in the second, 7-2. Henley leads. 3rd and 1 for the Cowboys. Snap is taken. It is handed off to Guzzi up the middle, and he gains about 2 yards on the play. Good enough for a Cowboy 1st down.
Just enough to move the markers. It was actually pretty good defense by Henley there. Little trap play. It didn't really fool them too much, but it was enough for a 1st down.
2nd 1st down of the night for Crook County. Also making them 1 for 4 on 3rd down conversions tonight. 1st and 10 for Crook County from the 36. Still driving upfield from left to right. Sending a man in motion. It's going to be Duke who takes the handoff, and he is smothered right as he picks it up. Actually brought down for a loss, but they're going to give him forward momentum and a gain of 1.
Owen Northcutt bottom of the pile there, but the whole interior of the line made that play. Well done by the Hornets.
Second and about 9 to go for Crook County. New body out there for the Cowboys. Elijah Freyoff, a sophomore, 6 foot, 170 pounds, playing some tight end. He's lined up in the slot on the left side for Crook County. 2nd and 9. Snap. Smith drops back into the pocket and hits his man over the middle. A late flag in the backfield. The pass is complete to Caleb Guzzi, the junior. And we'll see what the flag is down on the field. It was thrown just about right after Smith was hit. And we'll see what the call is here. It's going to be holding against Crook County. So this one is coming back.
That was perfect coverage there by Tolson. He did make the catch, but he picked up nothing after the catch. And the Hornets are going to elect to take the penalty.
Makes sense. It forces Crook County in a second and very long. The official marking probably going to be 19 yards. That's what it looks like to me. Second and 19. The yard to gain is the 48, so maybe 18 yards as they snap it from the 25. Dropping back the pass is Smith. He feels pressure and a big hit on the catch to Duke. And that'll be a loss on the play of 2 yards. Henley flying around out there, and they look good.
Austin Fitz was untouched on the left side, rushing into the quarterback there, making him hurry that throw.
Third and very long for the Crook County Cowboys. Third and we'll call it 18. Under 5 minutes now to go in the second, a game in which the Hornets lead 7-2. Smith, two wide receivers to either side of him. Takes the snap, drops back into the pocket, and tries to look deep at the pass. Intercepted by Colton Smith at the 48. He skied high for it, and he came down in an interception for Henley.
I was watching Colton on that play, and he saw that from the very beginning, from the snap. He had his eye on the quarterback, and he knew where that ball was going, and he did a nice job of jumping to the top point of that football and making the grab for the interception. Well done.
And now, all things considered, now that we've played a few minutes, that safety for Henley not really coming back to bite him the way they thought it might.
It worked out okay for him.
Henley taking over from the Crook County 46-yard line with 4:35 to go in the second, a game in which they lead 7-2. First and 10 for the Hornets. Shaw Stork takes a snap, rolls out to his right side, tries to throw it over the middle, and it's caught for a first down and then some. Taking it to the house for a Henley touchdown. 46 yards, the completion between Shaw Stork.
Owen Sheen.
I thought that was Owen Sheen. The numbers on these black unis a little bit tough to tell between Owen Sheen and Austin Fitz, but Sheen, a 46-yard touchdown reception, and that's how you draw it up for the Hornets.
The nice thing about that is that Shaw hit him in stride. Owen did not have to slow down at all, and once he brought the ball into his chest, he was gone.
Owen Sheen, after the score, now gets to try to convert on his own extra point. This would make it a 12-point game. The kick is up, and it is wide left, so no good. The score remains 13-2. Owen Sheen capping off a one-play drive, going 46 yards in 18 seconds. Henley leads 13-2. You've got the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Welcome back to the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Henley putting some points up on the board on their last drive. The score 13-2 with 4:20 to go in the second. Owen Sheen And Shaw Stork connecting for a 46-yard touchdown. Gave the Hornets 6 points. They missed the extra point, but still you got to like that series of events if you're Coach Stork. The interception to get the ball and then the deep ball for the touchdown.
Yeah, I spent a little time with the kids this week, and one thing about this team that's different from the past 4 or 5 seasons, they're a confident group. And sometimes that can get you in trouble if you're a little overconfident. But I like the way it plays out here. It sets a good tone for the team. They really don't get down.
The kickoff is up, more of a line drive fielded by Willis on the far side. He brings it up to about the 30, maybe a little bit past the 30, and that's where Crook County will start their drive. With 4:13 to go, the score 13-2, and Henley leads.
Trying to see who made the tackle over there. Looks like Benny Scott in on the play. Didn't see Benny much last week, but nice to see him back out there. He's a good tackler and a good player.
1st and 10 from the Crook County 31-yard line. Crook County, their last few possessions, they went 3 and out twice. They had the ball driving pretty well their last time out, went 6 plays, and the 7th play ended up in the hands of Colton Smith for the interception. See if Crook County can get anything going here. This one a little bit of a misdirection, and brought down in the backfield is Duke. 4 or 5 Hornets in on the tackle, and he did get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe lost a yard on the play before being driven backwards. 2nd and long for Crook County.
That was Colby Scholes in on the tackle, making a nice push for actually a loss on that play.
2nd and 11 for Crook County. Haven't seen Palmer Smith get to unfurl too many tonight. He's been keeping it on the ground. He's rushed in 3 touchdowns himself this season. 2nd and 11. Henley faithful getting into it, banging their feet on the metal bleachers at Hill O'Brien Field. A deep throw down the middle is incomplete. As Smith just tried to get out there and toss one downfield. Pass goes incomplete, 3rd and long coming up for the Cowboys.
I think that was Colby Scholes out there on the coverage. He did a nice job. He played that one just right.
Colby Scholes, I know his dad is listening and watching. James Scholes, he's stationed overseas. He sent us an email and said that he was nervous that he wouldn't be able to get to watch his kid in his last junior year of varsity, but is able to watch our stream. So shout out to James Scholes for participating in the stream tonight.
That's great to hear. Colby's playing very well this season.
3rd and 12 for Crook County. Smith, play action pass. He feels the pressure. He's hit, and a incomplete pass on the far sideline was almost intercepted by Northcutt. And Smith taking a shot there. Not sure who got there untouched, but good pressure applied by the Henley defense. It rushed Smith a little bit. He almost threw a 2nd interception, but it falls gracefully to the turf.
Yeah, someone needs to account for Austin Fitz, because that's the 2nd time in the last 2 drives he's basically just had a free shot at the quarterback, and that makes it rough to complete a pass for sure.
Punt unit coming out for Crook County. It's up, and that is a boot. Bounces out to about the 35-yard line, picked up at the 30, and coming up the near side is Austin Fitz. He comes up past the 40, and he's brought down at the 45. About a 15-yard return for Henley, and they will take over. 2:55 to go in the second. They lead 13-2.
I couldn't see it. That might have been Luke Bennett there, and I like how he aggressively played that on the bounce. He made up about a good 20 yards of field position by picking that up. That was a nice play.
Hornets take over at their own 46, 2:55 to go in the second quarter. Again, 13-2, the Hornets lead. Stick with us through halftime. We're going to break down the stats as we have them thus far tonight. We've also got some scores from around the area. What's going on across town? Mazama and Cascade playing tonight. We'll give you the score of that game coming up at halftime. But right now, 1st and 10 for the Hornets from the 46. Shaw drops back to pass. He feels pressure, spins around, tries to come to his left side, gets by 1 defender, gets by 2 before throwing it out of bounds, just trying to get rid of it. A good decision by Stork to try to keep the play alive and then just dump it off incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
I like the idea on that play call. He was trying to hit Logan Whitlock on a double move on the near sideline here, but some pretty good coverage by Crook County. And
There's a flag down late.
Very late flag here.
And we'll see what the Whitecap says tonight, David Van Horn, as he's stationed out at about the 43-yard line. And just awaiting the signal. So what was that?
It was intentional grounding.
But he was well outside of the tackle box. Outside of the tackle box.
The call may have been, I believe the ball has to be thrown beyond the line of scrimmage.
Gotcha.
And I don't think the ball quite made it past the line of scrimmage, which is why they called it.
Even if they're outside the tackle box?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll get to replay first down.
Well, they may have called that because there's nobody around either. I'm not sure. I didn't see a Hornet receiver in the vicinity either. So either one of those two reasons. But that puts it 2nd and very long.
2nd and a mile coming up for the Henley Hornets. 2 wide receivers set out to the right side of Shaw Stork. He's also got Tolson Higgins to his right. That'll actually be 2nd down and very long. It looks like Crook County trying to get back there. It's going to be a direct snap to Shaw Stork. He's going to try to take some blocks up the far sideline. He gets up past the 35, gets up to the 40. Stutter steps out of bounds. Call it a gain of about 10 yards on the play and a very late flag along the Crook County sideline.
Yeah, someone took a shot at Shaw. Well, he was already out of bounds and he got hit. So Henley's going to get a little bonus on this carry.
And there are 2 flags down. I would assume they're in the same spot, probably for the same action. But a conference happening at about the 40-yard line on the far side of the field.
When it's 2nd or 3rd and long, Henley's not afraid to just call Shaw's number, just a straight run. They've done that a few times with great success, which you don't. That's not a very common thing to do. Just have your quarterback tuck it and run on, 3rd and 25. But it works. He's quick enough, and they block well enough to make that kind of thing happen.
And you stole my point. Is the blocking of the offensive line?
Right.
They've got that schemed so well that you can have Shaw pick up 10, 12 yards. Personal foul against Crook County, and presumably for a late hit against Shaw, so that'll bring it back up.
That should be. It's going to be just. Yep, that will be a first down. It would be. I knew it was going to be close there.
Was a 25-yard penalty?
I think they tacked 15 onto the end of that.
Okay, onto the end of it, and he was already fairly close. So that'll be a first down for the Hornets. They're moving quite a ways up there. It must be a pretty egregious penalty.
We saw that second flag come in late. There may have been 2 personal fouls, maybe on the sideline or another player, because they did move the ball about 30 yards.
1st and 10 from the from the Crook County 30-yard line. 2:37 to go in the second quarter. The Hornets lead 13-2. Colton Smith lined up to the near side. Shaw Stork takes a snap, tries to throw it over the middle. The pass falls incomplete, was almost intercepted by Palmer Smith over the middle, but it will fall incomplete, bringing up 2nd down for the Hornets.
That's probably the first time tonight we've seen a little confusion in the pass routes there. Shaw was looking a little deeper downfield, and he really didn't have a receiver running that route. So we were fortunate to have it drop to the ground, and they'll bring up 3rd down.
Like you said, Coach Patchy got out even past the sideline there, trying to direct traffic a little bit for his team, hoping they can get on the right page. 2nd and 10 for the Hornets from the 30.
2nd down, pardon me.
2nd down. Throw goes to the near sideline and is caught at the 15. Call it a gain of 15 on the play and a Henley first down.
Shaw had his eyes on Colton Smith the whole time that time, and Colton did a nice job of getting down the field, coming back to the football, and that ball was on the money.
9th first down of the evening for the Hornets. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 15. 2:14 and counting in the second quarter. The Hornets lead 13-2. No wide receivers to the left of Shaw Stork. He's got 3 of them off to the right. Tolson Higgins is the only man to his left. Takes the snap, hands it off to Higgins, who finds himself a gap, plunges forward for a gain of 5 on the play. That brings up 2nd down for the Hornets.
That is encouraging to see that ball up the middle run like that with such a big hole. Some good blocking up front today.
A minute 33 and counting in a 13-2 ball game. We're in the second quarter and the Hornets lead. Same formation coming out for the Hornets from the near hash as Henley drives from right to left. This one, another handoff to Higgins. He gets by one defender, tries to plunge through another, a gain of 7 on the play. Inside the 5, call it the 4-yard line. 1st and goal, Hornets.
I like what I'm seeing here from Henley's pacing. They know how much time is left in the half. They're going to try to use all that clock and score and not give Crook County a chance to score on their side of the ball. So,
and if they're able to do that, they also get the ball back at the start of the 3rd quarter, having deferred after the coin toss.
Right.
Colton Smith to the near side as a play-action pass for Shaw Stork. It's intended the far sideline, just a little bit low for Owen Sheen.
That's a good, safe play. If you get a chance at an open receiver, you take it. If not, incomplete pass stops the clock, and you still have a few downs to try to score here.
2nd and goal from the 4. .37 seconds to go in the second quarter, and it looks like we're going to have a timeout called by Crook County with 37.5 seconds left to go. The Cowboys trailing by 12 in this one. So far, it's exactly like I said, Henley's game management. This is the longest drive of the game so far. This will be their 8th play coming up, and they've only had to go 54 yards, and they've done it in about 2.5 minutes, which is what you're looking for. This has been great clock management, this drive for Henley.
Right, and every game has key moments, and this is one, because if you're across the field, if you're a Crook County fan, you do not want Henley to find the end zone here. But if Henley can get up to 20-2 at half, that's a big difference. So these next 37 seconds will play an important part in this game.
Coming up at halftime, we will have the halftime score for you from Mazama and Cascade, as well as some other scores from our area and over the hill. And we'll also break down the stats as we have them for this first half. That's coming up in the halftime show on 104.3 and 960 Sports. We've also got HD video on mybasin.com, so if you're listening on the radio right now, the free video is available on mybasin.com. It's run through YouTube, so you're able to get it on your phone, your tablet, your PC, your smart TV if you've got one. If you've got a video game console, whether it's a PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, any of that stuff, we'll also be able to play this game on YouTube tonight. So appreciate you being with us. Teams back out onto the field. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 4. And the Hornets in possession, trying to punch it in and extend their lead. They lead 13-2 right now. Shaw Stork takes the snap, tries to roll to his right, and he's going to try to get there himself. He cuts upfield and does just that. Touchdown, Henley.
That was a nice play call. If I saw what I think I saw, Coach Pesci actually changed that play late, and it was a good move. He saw something, and Henley is taking a nice lead here just before the end of the half.
They lead right now 19-2, trying to make it an 18-point ball game with the extra point here. So far, Owen Sheen tonight 1 for 2 on extra points. Awaiting the extra point from Owen Sheen. The snap a little bit high, held still by Shaw Stork, and still no good for Owen Sheen. Wide left once again, so the score will remain 19-2 with 32.6 seconds to go until halftime. And Kevin, we mentioned it, a great drive for Henley there. 2 minutes and 23 seconds They went 54 yards. It took them 8 plays, capping it off with a Shaw Stork 4-yard touchdown rush, his second rushing touchdown of the season.
Yeah, they did a little bit of everything, and that's what we love about this team is they'll throw when they need to, they'll trick you in, they'll run in a throw-in situation. The running game's been great, especially up the middle. So Henley doing a little bit of everything. I think they wish they had maybe a few more points on the board, a couple missed opportunities, but for the most part, they can be very happy with their half here.
Defense gets a chance to do it again. Last time, another 3 and out for Crook County. It's the third time that's happened to the Cowboys tonight. Obviously, Coach Pard Smith in his second year looking to change things up with 32 seconds left to go in the half. If he can get any kind of points going into halftime, that'd be go a long way for Crook County. Right now, they trailed by 18. The magic number generally is about 16 when you go into the second half. That's about what you want to be up by, 2 full scores. Right now, Henley up by 17.
Henley did a good job. They only left about 33 seconds. So
the kick from Sheen has a little bit of awkward spin on it. It bounces out to about the 15. It's fielded at the 12. Picked up and now coming up field. He gets out past the 30 and has a little bit of daylight, does Kevin Willis. He's finally brought down at the 38. And that is where the Cowboys will start their drive with 21 seconds to go in the half.
that was an important tackle by Tyler Harper because there was plenty of daylight out front there. And he would not want to see a score this late in the half. So Henley defense trying to prevent anything deep here.
First and 10 from the Henley 35. Well, 36-yard line. See Palmer Smith if he tries to get fancy with something through the air here. We haven't seen him throw too many passes tonight. First and 10. Smith drops back into the pocket. He looks to his left side and completes a pass and dropped on the as he landed. Did Elijah Freyoff, the junior standing 6 foot tall. He had his hands on it, hit the ground. The ball popped out. Second and 10.
With only 16 seconds left, Crook County needs a lot more than a 4-yard gain, but Henley's rush has been so good, he's not getting a lot of time to throw back there.
Got to rely on something down the sidelines for Crook County. Henley not trying to let him get too many yardage. The other defensive backs generally playing back. This one a little bit of a screen pass. It's dumped off to Guzzi, who plunges forward for a gain of 11 and a Crook County first down. And there's 7 seconds left to go in the half. A timeout called by the Cowboys. That is their final. No, are they not taking the timeout? They stop the clock with 5 seconds left to go. Crook County does have one more timeout. There's 3 seconds left to go, and that will bring us to the end of the first half. The score 19-2, the Henley Hornets lead. Going to take a look at the stats as we have them here in this first half and take a look around the state. We've got a halftime score from Mazama and Cascade, so stay tuned for that on the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Swing by today and get road trip ready with our always free pre-trip safety check. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Trying to lose some weight and get in shape? Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club provides a clean and friendly workout environment with professional and experienced staff to help you achieve your goals. They offer state-of-the-art equipment, indoor tennis and pickleball courts, certified personal trainers, tons of group exercise classes. They're the best exercise facility in the Klamath Basin. Plus, they now have a smoothie bar to give you a nutritious boost after your workout. See and feel the difference at Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. It's the place to be.
Welcome back to Hill O'Brien Field on the campus of Henley High School. Halftime score tonight between the Henley Hornets and the Crook County Cowboys, 19-2. Henley leads. So far tonight, a few touchdowns being scored, all by different folks for the Hornets. There are 3 touchdowns. The first one coming from Tolson Higgins from 10 yards out. Extra point was good on that one, making the score 7-0. It was then Owen Sheen from 46 yards out after a Colton Smith interception, punching it in for the Hornets, making it 13-2 after a Hornet safety, which we'll talk about in just a minute. And then capping off the second half, it was Shaw Stork from 4 yards out. Extra point was no good. That's how we get our score of 19-2 thus far. Henley's rushing game has been good. It's been working. They haven't had to do it through the air too much. They did it once for 46 yards, but they're continuing to drive the ball nicely and pick up where they left off against Wairika, although the score may not show it.
Yeah, you know, oddly enough, we're kind of seeing a lot of the same thing. A couple minor mistakes, but really impressive offense with a multitude of weapons. As you mentioned, 3 touchdowns, 3 different players. So Henley's right on script, and if they come out with a strong second half, I think we'll be happy with the result.
Now, like you said, we're seeing a lot of the same things as we did the last couple weeks. Just the score is a little bit different. Crook County being just a little bit more physical, but we talked about it at the beginning of the game. The mental fortitude for Henley to not score on their first drive. In fact, turn the ball over on a fumble, come back, score on their next drive. They had a safety, and then they came back and scored on their next drive, even forcing the interception. So the mental toughness of these kids really, once again, showing through for these Hornets, and they look good. They look confident, like you said earlier.
Yeah, we've been impressed with that all season, with their attitude and their confidence, and they don't seem to back down or get discouraged, which is important.
Couple numbers of note for the Henley Hornets: 9 first downs tonight. Compare that to 3 for Crook County. Henley so far tonight 0 for 1 on third down conversions. They haven't had to play on third down too many times tonight. And Crook County is 1 for 4. So, and pardon me there. And just the fact that Henley is continuing to not have to play on third down is been really helpful for them, because they haven't had to play with their backs up against the wall. It's allowed them to play free and bust off a 46-yard pass, or continuing to do that play with Shaw Stork along the outside. They're able to play with a lot of freedom. They haven't had their backs up against the wall.
Yeah, not too many times they've been able to control the ball, move the ball very well. Both teams had some situations where they were second, third, and very long. But other than that, we've seen Henley move the ball pretty well, and defensively just playing excellent football once again this week, not even allowing 2 points. That was on the offensive side. So, yeah, the defense playing great.
Also, I'd like to say that they're selling See's candy. That's why I got distracted. I saw the chocolate in front of my face, and I didn't know quite what to say. And that is what's going on at halftime here at Hill O'Brien Field. It's a great night for football. Smoke hasn't really been too much of a factor, which is a blessing. and getting ready for a second half of football coming up in just a bit. The Hornets lead 19-2 at halftime. Going to step aside, come back. What we do, we'll give you scores from around the area, tell you what Henley's got up next week. That's coming up on 104.3 and 960 Sports with HD video on MyBasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between. We keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we had gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Swing by today and get road trip ready with our always free pre-trip safety check. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Welcome back to 104.3 960 Sports. It's the MyBasin.com game of the week. Henley leads at halftime 19-2. Not the only game going on in the area, though, tonight. You've got some halftime scores from around the area. Mainly, of course, the one we're looking for is the Mazama and Cascade game. Two powerhouse teams in the 4A right now, at least at halftime. I'm sure they're still winding down halftime right now. 28-14 Cascade. They got a touchdown with 55 seconds left to go in the half, much like Henley did here. And they are leading the Mazama Vikings right now, 28-14. If Mazama's unable to come back from that, a 1-2 start for the Vikings. Obviously not ideal for head coach Vic Lease. By the way, got to talk with head coach Vic Lease earlier today on Basin Sports Talk. It's my hour show on 104.3 and 960 Sports. If you missed that interview, you'd like to go back and listen to what Coach Lease had to say, not only about Cascade, but about his season so far. We'll have the podcast up for you tomorrow morning. You can check out our Facebook page at 960 Sports and also my own Twitter account if you end up finding it there at Josh Eldridge. That's where the podcast will be posted there, talking about tonight's game, talking about the games we've got coming up in college football and the NFL and all those things. So if you want to hear from Coach Lease, that is how you do it. His team down 28-14 against Cascade right now. Get you some other scores from around the area, not only here but over the hill as well. As Cascade Christian leads Henley's opponent from last week, Wairika. The challengers are up 20-0. St. Mary's is beating Pleasant Hill at halftime, 20-0. Crater and Churchill scoreless at halftime. North Medford beating Sherwood 21-7 at half, and McNary up on Grants Pass 21-0 in the second quarter. Still got a few minutes left to go in halftime tonight. Take a look now at the Skyline Conference standings coming into tonight's game. The Henley Hornets are atop the list. They're 2-0. Coming into tonight, they have scored the most points by far in the Skyline Conference, 79-14 in terms of point differential. The closest team to them is Mazama, who's 1-1, 62-49. Henley shut out their opponent. Hidden Valley shut out their opponent last week. They're 1-0, 136-0. North Valley is 1-1 as well. They are in fourth place in the Skyline Conference. Klamath Union is 0-2, as is Phoenix, both 0-2. Some other games for Klamath Basin area squads. Cross Point Christian at Falls City tonight. Bonanza is playing Gold Beach here in the Basin. Lost River playing Grant Union tomorrow, and Tule Lake playing Chester tonight. They're hosting that game. We talk about why Cascade and Mazama is such a big game, because Mazama is ranked 5th and Cascade is ranked 2nd in the state according to quite a few independent media polls. It's tough to gauge with the OSAA rankings this early in the season when teams haven't played games. So early in the year, I like to look at some independent media polls, and it's got Cascade at number 2, Mazama number 5. We've got a familiar face up there. Henley is at number 9 in the state right now, which is good for in terms of playoff pictures for the Hornets, and another Skyline team. Hidden Valley is rounding out that list at number 10. So, Kevin, still quite a bit of football to play for both of these teams. What do you look to see from Henley as we get ready for the second half in a few minutes?
Well, Henley wants to continue having success. We've been talking about Mazama. They've played some pretty tough teams, and when you play better competition, you get better, and that is true. But on the other side, sometimes having success is very important to your team. You can have passing routes that work, and timing plays, and play action, and get more people in the ball game. So Henley's making the most of their game so far, and I think it's all about building on the success and continuing to get better each game. I know that's what Coach Stork is telling his kids: get better each quarter, get better.
Win the half, and that's always the goal for the Henley Hornets. You bring it up every week. I got another score update from Crosstown. Looks like Cascade put up just a few more points on Mazama. They're now up 31-14 after a field goal to start the third quarter over there. We will keep you updated as the evening goes on as to what is happening over there at Mazama High School. But first, going to take a break, step aside. We'll be right back. Then it'll be time for third quarter action from Hill O'Brien Field on the campus of Henley High School. So glad that you've been with us tonight. And before we take a break, one more time, if you're listening on the radio, be sure to check out the HD video we have on mybasin.com. It's hosted on YouTube. You can find it a lot of different ways, whether it's on your PC, you click the link on mybasin.com. Whether you find it on your phone or your tablet, you can play it on there. You can also get it on your smart TV if you've got the YouTube app. Watch it on the big screen in your living room. You can also get it on your video game consoles, all that stuff, as long as you have the YouTube app. And it is totally free to view. No charge to the end viewer experience. And going to be following the Henley Hornets all season long from now all the way until the final game of the season against Klamath Union. 19-2 the score at halftime. Going to take a break. We'll be back with the third quarter. The Henley Hornets lead the Crook County Cowboys at half. On the MyBasin.com week 104.3 960 Sports.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Swing by today and get road trip ready with our always free pre-trip safety check. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Trying to lose some weight and get in shape? Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club provides a clean and friendly workout environment with professional and experienced staff to help you achieve your goals. They offer state-of-the-art equipment, indoor tennis and pickleball courts, certified personal trainers, tons of group exercise classes. They're the best exercise facility in the Klamath Basin. Plus, they now have a smoothie bar to give you a nutritious boost after your workout. See and feel the difference at Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. It's the place to be.
Welcome back to 104.3 and 960 Sports. 19-2 the score. Henley leading Crook County still at halftime tonight. Plenty of other sports going on this weekend, though, before we get ready for the third quarter. For example, tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m., you'll be able to hear the pregame show to the Oregon State Beavers and the Idaho Vandals. The Beavers looking to go 2-1. They'd be above 500 for the first time since 2015. Aside from that, you've got the Oregon Ducks playing a tune-up game against Stony Brook. Kevin, you plan on watching any college football this weekend?
I always watch college football. I have multiple TVs going.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, I'm one of those guys.
You got like the man cave set up or what?
Yes, I'll watch 2 or 3 games at a time. So
I wish I had the multiple TV set up. I'm kind of jealous now. You got to invite me over. I'll watch football at your place.
Okay.
So, yeah, tomorrow morning, 10:30, Oregon State and Idaho. You can hear that one on 104.3 and 960 Sports. And but first, we've got the rest of this Henley and Crook County game going on. 19-2, the score at half. Henley looking to improve to 3-0. Crook County trying to grab a win would put them at 2-1 on the season. And for Henley, if they're able to grab this third win in the preseason, everyone else in the Skyline Conference has already lost the game. Obviously, we still have a second half to play. It would go a long way in the preseason for these Henley Hornets. And like you said, the confidence that these kids have would go a long way for that, too. They just are doing everything right, at least in the grand scheme of things, making these small mistakes here and there, but overall they're executing at the times that they need to so far this season.
Yeah, what I'm looking forward to seeing now is this is the first time this game's still in doubt. I mean,
right.
This game's not over. So this is the first second half we've seen this year where Henley needs to go out and play well, or they may not win. So there's a good you have a good challenge in front of them, and we'll see what kind of adjustments both teams have made, and we'll see if Henley can come out with a win.
The first time where Henley is going to have to effectively close out a ball game. They've been able to do that in the second quarter of these past 2 weeks, and having to do so here in the second half this week is going to be a different challenge for Alex Stork's defense. Teams are headed back out onto the field. Henley won the coin toss in the first half. They deferred. Crook County ended up choosing to receive. So Henley, with a 17-point lead, will get to receive to start the third quarter. Henley tonight in their black uniforms. They've got the navy blue helmet with the yellow trim for their numbers. Crook County tonight, blue helmets, white jerseys. They've got blue numbering with yellow trim and blue pants this evening as we get started for the second half. The kick goes up and fielded at about the 15, bringing it out to the 20-yard line as Colton Smith. He's able to gain a few more yards and bring it out to the 40 and mark it at the 39. That's where the Hornets will start their first drive of the second half.
Colton did a nice job of shedding a couple tackles to bring the ball out to almost the 40, so they'll start with good field position.
Henley offense, led of course by Shaw Stork, who threw a touchdown in the first half and rushed one in for himself. It was his 7th passing touchdown of the season and his 2nd rushing touchdown. That's what he got in that first half. Owen Sheen in the slot on the far side. He's got one wide receiver to his near side and Tolson Higgins to his right as Colton Smith sent in motion as Henley drives from right to left. Hand off to Tolson Higgins. He plunges forward for a gain of about 5. Brings up second down for the Hornets.
Another nice line surge coming from the right side of Henley's line here. And a good gain.
Tolson Higgins, after that carry, worth mentioning that he does already have a touchdown tonight from about 10 yards out. It came at the very end of the first quarter. 2nd and 5 for the Hornets. Colton Smith still lined up to the far side. Owen Sheen And Austin Fitz to the far end. Tolson Higgins off to the left of Shaw Stork. Stork takes the snap, is going to hand it off to Higgins, who powers through and ends up gaining about 2 yards. It looked like he had quite a bit of momentum, but was stuck against a wall at Cowboys.
Yeah, Caleb Guzzi with a nice hit there. Probably the best hit of the game for the Cowboys so far. And you don't see Tolson stopped in his tracks very often. That was a nice piece of defense, bringing up third down.
Third and about 2 to go. Henley trying to get their first down of the second half. They had 9 in the first. Austin Fitz lined up to the near side. Shaw Stork's got 2 to the far side, and Tolson Higgins off to his left. The snap. Play action pass to Higgins, and a high pass is reined in by Austin Fitz on the near side. Good for about 5 yards and a Henley first down.
There's a little bit of confusion there. Smith and Fitz ran right next to each other in the same area, but Fitz reached up and grabbed it. That was a nice catch.
First and 10 for the Hornets. They're on the other side of midfield now at the 49 as they drive downfield. Again, going from right to left. Back off to the right side. Colton Smith set in motion from left to right. Shaw Stork taking the direct snap. He cuts upfield and he gets the first down. Falls forward for a gain of 14 on the play and a first down for the Hornets.
I always like when teams mix it up, try different things, and we're seeing some motion here by Henley here in this half.
I got to say, this designed run to Shaw Stork, I don't know what it is, but it tickles something in the back of my brain. The blocking schemes from the linemen, they look so good with that play. It's seasoned.
It's quick.
First and 10 from the Cowboy 35. Colton Smith and Austin Fitz set out to the near side. Shaw Stork fakes the handoff, trying to throw it over the middle, and it's incomplete. Second and 10.
That's a pretty nice throw from Shaw. He rifled it in there. Colby couldn't quite handle it. It'll bring up a second down.
Second and 10 for the Hornets. Fitz and Smith to the near side. It's Sheen on the far end. And I believe Garrett Northcutt has checked into the game for Henley. He's off to the left side to Shaw Stork. And the handoff is going to be an option. Keeper by Stork. He's cutting up the near sideline. He gets up and is pushed out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. A gain of 11 and good for a Hornet first down.
Nice decision there. Shaw kept the football and picked up enough for another first down.
For Henley tonight, their 12th first down of the evening, their third in this half. 7th play of the drive coming up. First and 10 from the Hornet from the Cowboy 25. Tolson Higgins back out there. Looked like they tried to get Crook County to jump. Now trying to take a play call from the sideline as Coach Patchy comes out, tries to make a call. The team has it. Stork takes a snap, looks to his right, decides to keep it himself and cut upfield, and he is brought down after a gain of 4. So improvisation coming out from the junior quarterback there ended up being an okay decision. He gained 4 on the play, brings up 2nd and 6.
Yeah, the key to success when Shaw runs it is there's no hesitation. He doesn't hesitate. On the design runs, he takes the snap, he's gone. Right there, it didn't take him very long to figure out. His receivers were covered. Boom, he's gone.
2nd and 6 for the Hornets. 3 wide receivers set out to the right side of Shaw Stork, and Tolson Higgins off to his right as well. 8:19 to go in the third quarter, 19-2. Play action pass over the middle, and it's intercepted at the 5-yard line. Coming up with the pick for Crook County, I believe that was Joshua Knight.
Stork was looking for Owen Sheen there, and for some reason the ball just kind of sailed on him a little bit, and Crook County took advantage.
Crook County going to take over from their own 24-yard line with 8:11 to go in the third quarter of a 19-2 ball game. That is the second interception that Shaw Stork has thrown on the season. And now the Cowboys a chance to get back into this ball game. This one a handoff to Duke. He's trying to run up the far side. He breaks the tackle of one defender, and he's dragged down from behind, still gaining about 5 yards on the play. Second down for the Cowboys.
Looks like Seaman in on the tackle there. And we're seeing Crook County go back to now its loaded backfield. They'll have 2 or 3 backs. At the end of the first half, they were going with a single back and trying to throw a little bit. So they're throwing a lot at Henley, but Henley's making some nice adjustments, and so far playing very good defense.
Second and about 4 to go for Crook County. The snap, a little bit of a misdirection. It looked like it was kept by Smith, who falls forward for about a gain of 1. Third down coming up for the Cowboys.
Yeah, he kind of tripped up on his own there. Garrett Northcutt was there to make the stop. It'll be third and short.
Third and about 2 to go. In the backfield for Crook County, the quarterback, Palmer Smith. You've also got Garrett Cobb and Braden Duke, the 2 running backs. This one is going to be handed off to Duke, and Henley read that perfectly. They snuffed it out, and that was actually Garrett Cobb on the carry. He goes backwards 2 yards. It's 4th and 5.
You know, that's one thing that may be one of the detriments to running out of the shotgun, is that ball is snapped, you're 5, 6, 7 yards deep. And if you only need 2 yards, sometimes it's better to be under center maybe and get a quick jump through the line, but good penetration by the defense stopped that gain.
And it looks like Crook County going to be going for it here on 4th and short. Not scratch that. They're going to go back and punt as they're 1 for 5 on third down conversions tonight. The punt goes up, passes midfield, bounces at the 45, and goes out of bounds as it rolls up to about the 36-yard line on the other side of midfield. That is where the Hornets will start their second possession of the half.
Henley had some nice momentum going on that last drive before the turnover, so hopefully they'll pick it right back up where they left off and try to move the ball down the field here.
Mentioned that last drive, if the interception was at the 5-yard line and you want to count that as yardage, they took it 54 yards before the interception, and they did it in about 3 minutes' time after 7 plays. So looking for a similar kind of drive for the Henley Hornets with different results.
Tolson Higgins back in the backfield now for Henley.
First and 10 for the Hornets from the 36-yard line, driving upfield. Stork takes the snap, is going to hand it off to Tolson, who has daylight. He is going to be hit after a gain of about 7. In on the tackle for Crook County, Caleb Guzzi.
Another nice hole right up the middle of that line. That was good for about 7.
I got to say, credit to Caleb Guzzi, the junior, 5'9", 180 pounds. You see Tolson Higgins running at you full speed. That kid stood there, and he took the hit and made the tackle.
He's done that a few times.
Second and 4 for the Hornets. Yard to gain is the 46. Snapping this one from about the 43. Direct snap again to Shaw Stork. He cuts up the near sideline, gets up past midfield, now past the 40, and decides to run out of bounds at the 32-yard line. No, let's see, they're going to bring it back to the 36 is where they'll say he ran out of bounds. Still, a gain of about 20 and good for a Henley first down.
That play is working, to put it simply.
Yes.
When Shaw takes a snap and just sprints, there's really nobody spying him or picking him up, and he's picking up big chunks of yardage. Yeah.
Shaw Stork coming into this game was 9th in the state in rushing yards, and that's for all positions, not just quarterbacks. Sure to be climbing those rankings today. 3 wide receivers set out to the right side of Stork. He's also got Higgins off to his right. First and 10 from the Cowboy 47. This one handed off up the middle, and a flag is down after the play. That was Garrett Northcutt in on the carry. But a flag is down, the first of this half, with 5:15 to go in a 19-2 ball game. The Hornets lead.
Hornets caught with a holding right there.
That is the third time the Hornets would have been slapped with the holding call. And still a conversation about it, about the 35-yard line. And we're going to get the official signaling now from the Whitecap tonight, David Van Horn. It's holding against the Hornets. So this one coming back just a little bit. It'll still be first down, although 1st and 20 for the Hornets. The back, Higgins off to the right. Shostork takes a snap, rolls to his right, feels the pressure, throws to his right, and the pass is incomplete. Intended on the far sideline, and with the pass a little bit throw, there's a flag down. And can you see who that was, Kevin?
I think he was looking for, is that?
Looks like it's Owen Sheen. He's usually been lining up on that far side.
That was Chris Janney out there this time, 18.
Another flag down, going against Henley once more.
It's like there was an illegal man downfield.
Coaching staff for the Hornets, again, just a little bit upset. They've got their hands in the air, but definitely not discouraged.
The pass fell incomplete, but it looks like Crook County will accept the penalty.
And do they lose a down on that? Or is it still first?
No, they will get to keep the down, but the distance a little bit further.
1st and, we'll call it 25. Shostork opted to pass last time, rolled to his right. The pass fell incomplete. So what he decides to do again. The first we've seen of Logan Whitlock in the backfield for the Hornets. Shostork takes a snap. A quarterback keeper off the option. Shostork has blockers and he has daylight. He's up past midfield, crossing the 30, now the 20, 15, 10. Touchdown, Henley. That's a 50-yard Shostork touchdown, and he did it himself. He found daylight and punches it in.
Well, you go with what's working, and Shaw running the football tonight has been working for Henley. Nice pickup there for the touchdown.
Another one of those things, the blocking was just about perfect for Henley. Shostork was not touched in 50 yards.
And that's the momentum you want there. You kind of felt like the first team that was going to score in this half was going to have the definite momentum. If Crook County could close the gap or if Henley could extend their lead. And that's a nice piece of football there for Henley. We have a new kicker in here.
Is that Dakota Humphreys? It looks like there's a fake coming out. Shostork decides to take it himself. He's scrambling now. He tries to get it in, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 1. He tried to extend his arms past the pylon and can't do it. Another extra point attempt, no good for the Hornets. They do lead at 25-2 with 4:56 left to go in the third. You've got the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
John Bowers Construction and Landscape Maintenance is in urgent need of landscape team members now. Call them at 541-205-1464 to apply. They're also looking for a construction team lead and a landscape maintenance team lead. They offer extremely competitive wages, paid vacation, and so much more. Call John Bowers Construction at 541-205-1464 to apply today. Email johnbowerslandscape@hotmail.com. TCB number 188923. Equal Opportunity Employer.
.456 to go in the third quarter of a 25-2 ball game. The Henley Hornets lead. That last play for Henley went 36 yards in just over a minute and 15 seconds. Took them 3 plays. There was a penalty, a couple penalties on the play, so Shostork ended up punching it in from 50 yards out. Had a great drive that time for Henley. They have seized the momentum in the second half. They're up 25-2. Hornet faithful getting into it, banging their feet on the metal bleachers. The kick is up, and that is a boot. That one bounces around at the 1 yard line and ends up going into the end zone for a touchback. So they'll bring it out to the, let's see, in high school is at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, that's the first one of those we've seen. A touchback on the kickoff, and I like that. It cuts down on the chance of a long run back, especially when you have a nice lead. And it gives Crook County the ball at their 20.
So they are only bringing it out to the 20. With 4:56 to go in the third, the Hornets lead 25-2. First and 10 for Crook County. Their last possession was a 3-and-out. Smith, still two backs in the backfield. He's going to put a man in motion. That's Guzzi. Decides to throw it close to Duke, who tries to lower his shoulder at the line of scrimmage. Is knocked down after a gain of 1. Second down coming up for the Cowboys.
I'm impressed with Henley's pursuit and the ability to close on the football. They may make the catch out of the backfield, but it's just instantly. In that case, Garrett Northcutt was right there.
Brings up second and long for Crook County, a situation in which they've been in multiple times this evening. So far for the Cowboys, only 3 first downs. They've had trouble moving the football. See if anything changes here in the third quarter. They trail 25-2, 4:15 to go. Smith drops back the pass, tries to throw it over the middle. The pass is caught for a gain of 3 and finally brought down. That'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Same type thing there. They're giving up the catch, but they're only giving up 2 or 3 yards down the field. So you have to be happy with that.
There's Eddie Freehoff in on the reception, sophomore, 6'3" for Crook County. 3rd and 5. The Crook County Cowboys driving from left to right. Smith takes a snap, drops back, looks to his right, and it sails on him a little bit. The pass is caught on the near side by Mason Lacey. Still short of the first down. I believe it was more of a lateral than a forward pass. It'll still be 4th and 5.
And there's Garrett Northcutt again, and those last 3 passes, 2 yards, 3 yards, 2 yards. So if you're going to give up a pass, that's how you want to do it. Very short gains, and it's put the Cowboys in the 4th down again.
As far as 3rd down conversions tonight for the Cowboys, 1 for 6. And the Cowboys deciding now what to do. It's tough to give this drive away. Looking at the score, they trail by 23 points with 2:44 to go in the third. Looks like they're keeping their offense out there.
They may try the hard count again, 4th and 4 here. Try to draw Henley off sides.
Smith takes a snap, drops back, look to his right. The pass is high, but it is incomplete.
Pass incomplete.
A turnover on downs. The Hornets will take over at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, we're going to have a little stoppage of play here. We might have a serious injury down there.
And we're going to take a break with 2:28 to go in the third quarter. 25-2, the Henley Hornets lead on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
John Bowers Construction and Landscape Maintenance is in urgent need of landscape team members now. Call them at 541-205-1464 to apply. They're also looking for a construction team lead and a landscape maintenance team lead. They offer extremely competitive wages, paid vacation, and so much more. Call John Bowers Construction at 541-205-1464 to apply today. Email johnbowerslandscape@hotmail.com. CCB number 188923. Equal Opportunity Employer.
It looked pretty bad. It's number 4. It's Garrett Cobb who's hurt.
All right. Well, we don't want to say who it is just to make sure.
No. But if he walks off, we could.
And we welcome you back to 104.3 and 960 Sports. We've got HD video of this one on mybasin.com. The score right now, 25-2. The Henley Hornets lead with 2:28 to go in the third quarter. And there was an injured player down on the field. He's able to get up and walk off under his own power, which is good, as it looks like play will be resuming here in just 1 second. As he walks off, he gets a standing O from the Henley crowd here tonight. Never want to see that, especially early in the season. But it looks like we are hoping for the best for the injured player over there for Crook County.
Yeah, I'm glad he was able to get up on his own and walk off. That's a good sign. So the result of that play is that was a fourth down. Failed fourth down, so Henley will get the ball now, 1st and 10.
On the 26-yard line.
Henley's going to get the ball at the 26 with 2:28 to go in a game in which they lead 25-2. Crook County has just taken a timeout. We're going to stick with you through this one. That last drive for Crook County, another 3-and-out. They've had 2 possessions this half, 2 3-and-outs. Going back to the first half, let's see, add that 2, 3, 4, 5 3-and-outs so far for Crook County. Henley defense has looked very good, even continuing now into this third quarter.
Yeah, it's not from lack of trying from Crook County. We've seen lots of different sets in the backfield. They were trying to go with a short passing game, and Henley's just adjusted. They've made some nice moves.
For $200.
Just over 2 minutes to go now left in this third quarter. Got a score update from Mazama and Cascade to share with you. A special shout out to Brian Gailey of Klamath Falls Sports Network. End of 3, Cascade leads 31-21, but Mazama has recovered a fumble to start the fourth quarter. We'll keep you updated on that game as much as we can moving forward with the rest of the festivities here tonight.
5-8-7-5.
First and 10 for the Hornets from the 26. They're driving downfield. Shaw Stork takes the snap, has some protection, tries to go downfield with it, and just overthrows his receiver.
Pass incomplete.
And can't quite tell who that was intended for. Regardless, an incompletion brings up 2nd and 10.
Looks like it might have been Austin Fitz out there. That was a nice play call. Austin had him beat. Ball just thrown a little far. And they'll try it for a 2nd down attempt here.
2nd and 10 for the Hornets. Their last drive ending with a 50-yard Shaw Stork touchdown. Before that, Stork threw an interception. I'd say he's made up for it. 2nd and 10, Stork handing it off to Higgins, who tries to battle his way up for a couple of yards, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and no gain on the play, 3rd and 10.
Palmer Smith laying the lumber on that for Crook County. Crook County, they're hitting just as hard now as they were at the beginning of the game. They are playing hard.
Third and 10 for the Hornets so far tonight, 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions. They haven't had to play 3rd down too much so far tonight. 3 wide receivers set out to the right of Stork. He drops back, looks to his left, lobs one up the middle. It's caught by Austin Fitz and just slips through his hand as he falls down. He had it, and he lost it. 4th down.
Well, they almost had it 2 plays ago, and I'm sure they said, try it again. Austin probably said, I can get it, try it again, and they almost had it again. And we'll see what they do here with 4th down. Maybe too far field goal.
Pass was incomplete.
It's going to be a curious play call for Coach Stork. And by the way, I mentioned a minute ago that Mazama picked up a fumble to start the 4th quarter just a minute ago. They were down by 10 to Cascade. They punched it in for a touchdown, now only trailing 31-28 with just under 7 minutes to go in the 4th. Here in this one, Henley's up 25-2, a minute 41 to go in the 3rd. Shaw Stork dropping back on 4th and 10. Rolling to his right, feels the pressure, tries to go deep for it, and it falls incomplete. Intended target in the end zone was Colton Smith. And Henley goes 3 and out, giving Crook County the ball 1st and 10 at the 26.
Well, Henley didn't convert, but I like that series because they had chances. They had 3 good chances there. And now they'll have to rely on their defense to make a stop.
Henley defense has been very good so far tonight, and that's to say the least about it. Back-to-back 3-and-outs for Crook County here in this second half. They're going to be taking it from the near hash are the Cowboys as they drive from left to right. Back away from the high school here on the campus. 1:35 to go in the third, 25-2 the Hornets lead. Palmer Smith tries to get the snap off, but a flag is thrown just before the snap. And we'll see what the signal is here. Was against Crook County.
They were against the Cowboys. Too many men on the field.
So 12 men on the field as the ball was snapped.
There were a number of players on Crook County with their hands up, kind of shrugging their shoulders. They really didn't know what they were running there, so they had too much personnel on the field, so they'll try it again here.
1st and 15 for the Cowboys. Ball is snapped. Smith tries to look to the close end. It's received by Eddie Freyoff. It's a gain of 5 on the play, brings up 2nd and 10.
Pass complete to Eddie Freyoff.
Tyler Harper on the stop, and that time they got a little block on the outside, and they picked up a few more on that pass play. So Crook County with a little better success, bringing up 2nd down.
25-2 the score, 1:03 to go in the third quarter. The Henley Hornets leading the Crook County Cowboys of Prineville. 2nd and 10. 2 wide receivers set out for Crook County, and Palmer Smith in the backfield with Braden Duke. Takes the pass, drops back, tries to throw it to the left sideline, and the pass is caught along the sideline by Eddie Freyoff for a gain of 5. 3rd and 5.
Another short gainer. That seems to be their strategy here, is just kind of dink and dunk, as they call it, down the field. Kind of surprised. Crook County's taken a lot of time between plays, and they're down 23 as the third quarter comes to a close here.
14 seconds and counting. 25-2 Henley leads Crook County. And now 10 seconds. Cowboys need to get off a play now. 6 seconds. They are taking their time. 4 seconds. And the ball is snapped with 3 seconds to go. This will be the last play of the third quarter. It's an incomplete pass. And that does bring us to the end of the third. A game where Henley leads the Cowboys 25-2. We're heading to the final 12 minutes next on 104.3 60 Sports.
There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, the retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Sports was kind of what defined.
Welcome back to mybasin.com, 104.3 960 Sports. Starting the fourth quarter with a Crook County punt. It was blocked and dribbles out to about the 38-yard line as my commercial break runs a little bit long. I get back, I try to ease into things. An exciting play. It's a blocked punt. The Hornets are going to get it at the Cowboy 38.
Luke Bennett. Nice job, Luke, getting a piece of that football. And now the officials will try to figure out who gets the ball and where. That's the first block punt we've seen this season.
And Crook County fell on it? Now my question is, if it's short of the first down, I guess they got it. Well, it looked to me like Northcutt fell on it. Now I am up here quite a ways removed, but also it looked like it might have been short of the original down marker. Now on 4th down, if there's a punt and there's a blocked punt and the punting team receives it, do they still have to get the first down? Or they recover it, I guess. Receives is the wrong word. Either way, first and 10 for the Cowboys. Smith takes the snap and dumps it off to the far side to Kyrie Willis. Good for 5 yards. Second down coming up for the Cowboys.
Tilson Higgins again, coming a long way to help on that tackle.
I'll give him the 4th down conversion, I guess. 1 for 1 on the night in that case.
Yeah, that was an odd play.
Second and 5 for Crook County. Duke still in the backfield with Smith. Second and 5. Smith takes the snap. Looks left, decides to try to get it to Duke, but the pass falls incomplete. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Owen Northcutt causing some problems on that one. And Tolson Higgins on the coverage.
Clock stopped with 11 minutes to go in the 4th and final period tonight from Henley High School. 25-2, the Hornets lead. 3rd and 5 for Crook County as they are driving, trying to inch their way back into this game. Smith, the quarterback, dropping back into the pocket to try to unleash one downfield, and he does. Getting it over to Eddie Freoff, who caught it at the 30 and brought it home for a Crook County touchdown. There's a flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. Holding against Crook County. That one's coming back.
That's a tough break for the Cowboys. They did a good job of getting the play off in a hurry, being down 3 touchdowns, and getting that ball thrown. It was a nice ball thrown deep for the touchdown, but it's not going to count. It will come back due to a hold.
Eddie Freoff making the catch there, a sophomore standing 6'3". He made the catch in coverage, fought through contact, and ran it in the rest of the way for what would have been a touchdown, a good athletic play from him.
It was a nice play.
Either way, it is coming back to the original line of scrimmage. No, it's going to go a little bit past that, rather. So it's going to be 3rd and 15 coming up for the Cowboys. Third and 15 for Crook County tonight. 1 for 7. On 3rd down conversions, that pass tossed up and intercepted on the far sideline for Henley. Second interception of the night for Palmer Smith. And the Hornets have a great opportunity to try to put this game out of reach with a score here.
Well, they tried it again, Crook County did. They found success earlier. They wanted to try it again, but they didn't fool Luke Bennett. And he was over there right where he needed to be to pick that ball off.
1st and 10 from the Crook County 33-yard line. That's where Henley takes over with 10:43 left to go in the game. They lead 25-2. Shaw Stork takes the snap, is going to hand it off to Whitlock, coming up the near side. Whitlock getting by a couple of defenders, call it a gain of 5 on the play, maybe 4. So Whitlock on the carry, brings up 2nd down.
Logan did a nice job turning the corner there and then accelerating through the tackle. He got a nice gain.
Logan Whitlock, a sophomore, 5'8", 150 pounds. Don't see too much of him when the starters are out there, but he might make it into that rotation with Higgins and Northcutt. He's got some speed to him.
Sure.
2nd and 5 for Henley. Whitlock still in the backfield with Stork. He takes the play action. Stork decides to throw it to the far sideline. It's caught for a 1st down and a gain of about 15 yards to Owen Shane.
Nice throw and catch there between Shaw Stork and Owen Sheen. And Shaw needed a completion there, and he threw that on a rope. That was a nice throw.
Brought down by Nate Luttrell.
And they're within striking distance now. some red zone action here for the Hornets.
1st and 10, just as you said, inside the red zone. It's
First down, Henley.
At about the 14-yard line, maybe the 13. Henley, last time they were here, punched it in with Shaw Stork from 4 yards out. 1st and 10, a handoff to Higgins. He gets through, and he plunges all the way through from 14 yards out for a Henley touchdown.
Garrett Northcutt.
And my apologies, that was Garrett Northcutt on the carry.
That was a shifty little run by Garrett. He had a nice hole, and he was able to score on the easy run. Nice conversion there by Henley.
5th touchdown of the night for the Hornets. They're up 31-2, trying to extend that lead.
Practice to attempt the point after. Stork is holding.
The extra point is up, and it is good. The score 32-2. Henley extending their lead with 9:46 to go in the 4th quarter. You've got the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 60 Sports.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Swing by today and get road trip ready with our always free pre-trip safety check. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Welcome back to 104.3 960 Sports HD video on mybasin.com. Henley in control of this game. They're up by 30 with 9:46 to go in the 4th quarter. The score 32-30. That drive, 3 plays, took them 57 seconds, 33 yards, punched it in from 14 yards out with Garrett Northcutt. That's a drive that probably put this game out of reach, and Henley looking to hold on to this lead in the final 9:46 of the ball game.
It's been a nice effort from the Hornets so far. You know, we don't take these games for granted, and we're fortunate to be playing a home game.
Yes.
The smoke subsided, and we have a full house tonight. So a lot of teams haven't been able to play this evening, so we were happy to be here.
Willis and Freehoff are deep.
Willis and Freehoff back to receive for Crook County. I'm sure you can hear the noise from the feet of the Hornets' nest here tonight. More of a line drive kick that bounces past the outstretched hands of Freehoff and into the end zone for a touchback. You don't see too many touchbacks touch the ground first at the 25, but that ball rolled.
That's the momentum on it, that kick. And another nice touchback.
So Crook County takes over with 9:44 left to go in the ball game. They're going to start at their own 20-yard line. Last time out for Crook County was an interception. Before that, a turnover on downs. Having trouble moving the football downfield, and they're trying, but the Henley linebacker core, like we said earlier in the game, a good sign of good linebackers is they're making contact at the line of scrimmage. They are keeping Crook County behind the sticks. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. And a false start. Jumping on that one, Austin Vaughn, it looked like. 5'9", 150 pounds. The sophomore jumping just a little bit early. Student section like that for Henley. They like the Crook County mistake. 1st and 15 from the 15. Yard to gain is the 30. Smith takes the snap, drops back, tries to unleash a deep one, and incomplete. Intended target on the near sideline, Eddie Freehoff.
Chris Janney on coverage, and that was good coverage. Another thing that I'm impressed with the Hornets is you see him get beat on a deep play, or maybe you see him get beat with a deep run, and they come right back and they adjust, and they just don't it just doesn't happen twice, and that's the sign of a good football team.
Final score from Mazama tonight, Cascade knocking off the Vikings 31-28. Smith trying to complete a pass to the near side, but it is whistled dead. Incomplete pass.
Austin Fitz, once again, coming off of the edge, putting some pressure.
Checking into the game for the Hornets, I believe, is junior defensive back Carter Baker. Third and 15 coming up for Crook County. Smith alone in the backfield, drops back, looks to his left, trying to get it to the sideline again. This time it is caught by Freehoff at the 40. He's being chased, but he is in front of everyone, bringing it all the way through for a Crook County touchdown.
No flag that time, and that's going to count. That was a nice catch, because he had to just reach with his fingertips, kind of bobble it for a second, and then he was gone. Nice play by the Cowboys.
85 yards on the connection between Smith and Freehoff there, making the score 32-8. Crook County trying to convert on the extra point.
They've tried that a few times, and that's obviously somewhere Crook County wants to go with the football. The coverage was pretty good. It wasn't a blown coverage or anything like that, just a nice throw, a nice catch.
Trying to go for two are the Crook County Cowboys. Well, it looked like they were about ready to go for two. Instead, they decide to kick the extra point. To kick it is Cameron Carr. The kick is up, and it is blocked up front by the Hornets. Score will remain 32-8.
That's Luke Bennett again. And he's having a nice special teams game.
That drive for Crook County, 4 plays, went 80 yards in just about 24 seconds, capping it off with an 85-yard connection between Palmer Smith and Eddie Freehoff. Score now 32-8 with 9:20 left to go in the fourth quarter. And like you said, Kevin, they tried to work that play into the system a couple of times. This time finally worked, but halfway through the fourth quarter, I'm sure Crook County would have liked to have that play work for him in the second, but still able to put points on the board.
Yeah, and then they'll be trying that again. You can almost count on it. That's a nice connection between their quarterback and their quick receiver. So we may see some different personnel here for Henley with about 9 minutes left to play in the game. So we'll keep an eye out. I saw Tyler Harper warming up on the sidelines. He may come in here.
For Crook County, that was their first offensive point of the night. They also scored 2 on a safety earlier in the game. That came with 8:19 to go in the second quarter. The kick from the Cowboys, caught at about the 15 on the far side, trying to bring it back towards the middle. There's a flag down, trying to cut upfield, now up past the 40, and Colton Smith brings it up to the 50 before being brought down. There is a flag down, and we'll see what the call is. Happened during the return.
Smith did a good job he was coming forward full speed when he caught that kind of line drive kick, and he had a lot of momentum coming up the field. Made a nice run back, clear to midfield.
Still trying to figure out what exactly the penalty is and who it's to be assessed to. What is that? Some kind of helmet to helmet, it looks like, against Henley. Either way, that one's coming back, and quite a ways as well. Was brought out to the 50 initially, And it's looking like now it might be brought back to the, well, they're walking it back right now. I'd imagine if it's a 15-yard penalty, they're walking it all the way back to the 25. So it's a 25-yard penalty, 1st and 10. That is where the Hornets will start their drive. 9:08 left to go. They lead 32-8.
I couldn't find that signal, this one in there. I was looking it up.
Yeah. Well, I'm usually studying the NFHS, workbooks with the referee signaling and all that stuff, and it just blanked on me. 1st and 10 from the 25. And for Henley, it looks like they've got a new quarterback out there. There's going to be a timeout on the field, and I believe that's Trenton Trout out there, the senior. Looks like number 12 to me.
They're going to try to figure out here. Coach Pashy calls a timeout.
Well, as both teams are huddled, it's worth reminding you this game brought to you in part by Abby's Legendary Pizza. Great stop for you after the game. They've got 2 locations here in Klamath Falls, one on Shalleck Street, one on Austin Street. Abby's Legendary Pizza, place where you can make some memories. I love the ad we've got running for him right now. I had one with Jordan Kent before, a Churchill State champion.
Mm-hmm.
Abby's Legendary Pizza. Check them out here in Klamath Falls. And, of course, Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. You know, they've got the end of golf season out there at Harbor is coming up as it starts to get chilly, so they're trying to get people out there to golf. They've got different deals out there if you want to play 9 holes, if you want to play 18, whether you want to drive in a cart or not. So go check them out, Harbor Isles Golf and Fitness Club. They've got the gym out there as well with tennis courts and pickleball courts and personal trainers. Check them out, Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club and the golf course, Harbor Links.
Okay,
First,
I think that is Tyler Harper back there.
Tyler Harper, junior, 6'1", 190 pounds. 1st and 10 from the Cowboy 25. That's going to be a handoff. Gets up to about the 32-yard line. They whistle it dead. And it's going to be at the 33. That was kind of interesting. I let that go for a while with all those guys standing around each other.
Oh, that was a late whistle.
Yeah.
Tolson had been held up for quite some time, but it didn't make him stop any sooner. He kept pushing through.
Oh, yeah, he's going to play whistle to whistle
yeah,
as
he
he should.
That was a nice carry. Picked up 8.
2nd and 2.
Hornets will take their time now. Usually they're a pretty quickly paced team, but having this lead this late in the game, they'll take their time, use the clock.
And that is the way to do it, winding down a successful game on both sides of the ball. Now the key is make sure you finish clean. You don't want anyone to hobble off to the sidelines or get hurt or anything like that. Just play a nice, clean game for the final 8-12. And you're leading 32-8, the Henley Hornets. Harper takes the snap, going to hand it off the far sideline, breaking one tackle, getting the first down and brought out of bounds after a gain of 3 yards. And Higgins on the carry. Another Henley first down.
Just can't say enough about the way he runs. We're in the 4th quarter and he's running just as hard as he did in the first. It's really quite remarkable. He's coming out now, taking a break.
Probably for the best. I'd love to see Logan Whitlock back out there. And I'm wondering if he's the back who ran out there for Henley. And it's tough to tell right now, but 2 wide receivers set out to either side of Tyler Harper. 1st and 10 from the Cowboy 35. Ball snapped. He's going to keep it himself. Harper trying to find a hole, trying to get up the middle, and a gain of maybe 2 yards on the play.
Not a whole lot there. Crook County doing a nice job stuffing the middle on that play.
2nd and 9 coming up for the Hornets.
Looks like Benny Scott's in at that running back position. And we talked about this since the beginning of the season. They're probably 4 deep at running back. They have a good core of strong runners.
Benny Scott got some touches against Ashland. Didn't see him too much last week against Wairika, but he looked good against the Grizzlies in week 1. Now a chance to show off what he can do against the Cowboys. 2nd and 9. 2 wide receivers set out to the right side of Harper. Takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Scott. The ball gets knocked loose, and I believe Henley is going to be able to fall on it. And it is recovered by the Hornets. Brings up 3rd down.
It looks like, well.
Are they saying Crook County?
It looks like Palmer Smith jumped on it for Crook County there. And so they will take over on the fumble. That was a nice hit. Put that helmet right on the football.
Yeah, that popped out about 5 yards behind
it did.
Yeah. 1st and 10 from the Henley 35. Crook County has probably the best starting field position they've had all night, with 6:11 to go in the 4th and final quarter. Student section rooting for their defense. The cheerleaders out tonight. It's been a great night of football in the Basin. 1st and 10. Crook County ends up handing it off to Duke, who tries to battle his way through a crowd of Hornets for a gain of 4. It brings up 2nd and 6. And that's actually, let's see here, I believe maybe Hooper Nelson on the carry for Crook County.
Yeah, we're seeing some new players also for Crook County.
Here in the preseason, before you start league play, it's not the preseason, it is a regular season, but before league play, a good chance for some of these underclassmen to get some minutes, as that pass is completed to Kyrie Willis along the far sideline. Good for a Crook County 1st down and a gain of about 8 yards. For Crook County, their 4th 1st down of the evening. First and 10 from the Henley 32-yard line. .5:15 and counting to go in the 4th, and a false start up front from Crook County. They're bringing this one back 5 yards.
Crook County taking a lot of time between plays. And this would be a good time for them to work out some of the bugs. They have about 5 minutes to do so before their next opponent.
Just a quick look ahead for Crook County next week on the road against North Eugene. 1st and 15 for the Cowboys. Palmer taking the snap, trying to get it on the near side to Freyoff, and the pass is completed for a Crook County touchdown.
And he got behind the defense on that one. And that's probably the first time tonight we've seen a receiver get behind the defense, and hopefully that's a lesson learned. That was another nice touchdown catch by Freyoff.
32-14 with 5:06 to go in the 4th quarter. Crook County has put together back-to-back scoring drives, and apologies that was not Freyoff. That was actually Kyrie Willis on the touchdown reception there from 32 yards out. And the extra point coming from Cameron Carr. The kick is up. Well, I don't know if up is the right adjective to use there. Got about 6 feet off the ground, missed the uprights, and no good. 32-14 the score with 5:06 to go in the 4th quarter. That last drive for Crook County, 3 plays. They went 35 yards in a minute and 5 seconds, capping it off with a 32-yard connection between, that would be a Palmer Smith and Kyrie Willis. Back-to-back scoring drives for the Cowboys, and that's what we've been saying all game. Henley's defense has looked real good, and it's through no fault of Crook County, they've been unable to really put together solid drives. Henley's just looked so good, and now Crook County able to open it up against some of the second-string Henley players.
Yeah, and it's a good chance now. Henley, I think, they need to just regroup, take a deep breath, and then try to execute well on this drive here and see if this unit can get a touchdown of their own.
5:06 to go in the fourth and final quarter, 32-14. Henley leads. Be sure to stick with us during the post-game show. I'm going to break down the stats as we have them this evening, as well as talk about next week and the other games going on in the Basin tonight. The final from Mazama High School as they played Cascade earlier was 31-28. The Cougars beating the Vikings.
That game finished up quickly.
That's how it tends to go with Mazama. They run the football a lot. And looking at this Crook County team, we'll talk about in a second as the kick is up. Going to be fielded at about the 26-yard line, bringing it up to the near side and tackled from behind at about the 30. And that is where Henley will start this possession with 4:59 to go in the fourth quarter.
That was nice pursuit by the Crook County defender there, bringing down Colton.
And the point I was going to make before the kickoff is Crook County, the way they run their offense, and Kevin, I'm sure you know this having watched Mazama over the years, the formations are very similar. Henley's getting a good look at what they're going to see in a couple weeks from now when they play Mazama. Now, Coach Lease does run a different style out of that same formation, but they're getting to look at the same sort of thing this week against Crook County.
Yeah, this will be a good tune-up for sure.
1st and 10 for the Hornets from the 30-yard line. And it looks like Stork back into the game. He's going to take it himself, try to get to the nearest sideline. He's trying to cut back across the middle. He gets wrapped up after a gain of 9, but there is a flag down on the field.
I like that. Shaw's always thinking he wanted to stay in bounds there, try to keep the clock running. And that was a wise play, but the penalty is going to negate the carry.
So look to our white cap tonight, David Van Horn. It's going to be holding against the Hornets once again. This one coming back. Repeat first down, 1st and 20.
Coach Stork going back with his first unit here. I think he wants to keep things tight. He wants to keep things looking good, keep the momentum going here.
My apologies, it'll actually be 1st and 15 for Henley. Stork out there. He's got one wide receiver to the near side. He's got Tolson Higgins off to his left and 2 more wide receivers that way as Henley drives from left to right across your screen. 4:42 and counting in the final quarter. The Hornets lead 32-14. Stork taking a direct snap and trying to go up that left side. He's got a couple of blocks. He's trying to stay behind him before he cuts upfield. Gets past one defender, now cuts back up towards the middle. He passes midfield, gets up past the 40, now the 35 to 30, 25-20. 15, 10, 5, touchdown for Shaw Stork and the Henley Hornets.
All you can say is, wow, that was something else. Clear to the far sideline, ended up clear to the near sideline. And he has wheels. That was a terrific run by Shaw.
Shaw Stork, 75 yards on the carry for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the game. And there is a player down on the other side of the field. So we're going to take a quick break as that player hopefully gets to their feet. That score right now, 38-14. Henley Hornets lead with 4:22 left to go in the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 960 Sports.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we had gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Swing by today and get road trip ready with our always free pre-trip safety check. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
And we welcome you back to Hill O'Brien Field on the campus of Henley High School. We're in the third quarter tonight of a 38-14 ball game. The Henley Hornets lead, and it was after a 75-yard Shaw Stork touchdown that extended their lead. It is Shaw Stork's third rushing touchdown of the night by my count, and he has looked really good on the ground tonight.
That one's going to make the highlight reel right there.
You know, I'm talking to Josh Shelton over there over at Medford right now. He's got to take this. Him and Carmine going to have to take this one.
Yeah, that might be play of the week right there.
The extra point is low and blocked. 38-14 is where we're going to stay for the time being. That last drive for Henley, 2 plays, 75 yards for the touchdown in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's why Coach Stork brought his A team back in there. He didn't want to limp out of this game, and he didn't want to have the final score be any closer than it needed to be. So that was well executed and well done by Henley.
Henley tonight on extra points. Just of note, it has not affected them thus far in the game. Only 2 for 6 on extra point attempts this evening, so something that they're definitely going to want to work on. But in a game like this, where you can still come away with the win, I think, if you're Coach Stork, you're not okay with it, but you can say, look, this is just something we need to work on.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to mention that. When the games get tight and league play down the stretch, you need the extra points, and you have to convert those. So I can guarantee they'll be working on those in practice. You're right.
With 4:22 remaining in the fourth quarter, the Hornets lead 38-14. My name is Josh Eldridge. I'm joined by Kevin Petrick and Nick Bradford tonight. Appreciate you being with us on this Friday. Beautiful night for football in the Basin, and looking to do it again in a couple of weeks when the Mazama Vikings come to town. The kick is up and was out to about the 15. The ball went loose, rolled out to about the 28-yard line, and that was recovered by the Hornets. Henley's going to get possession of the football with 4:16 to go in the final quarter.
That was 55, and he's not on my roster, unfortunately, but that was a nice way to pick up the football on a fumble there.
And I can see Shaw Stork on the sideline talking with Austin Fitz, and Owen Sheen is down there, so second unit out there for the Henley Hornets, as I see Colton Smith walking about too. So
this would be some good varsity experience for this unit, and they've got a real chance to score, push it in here. So about 4 minutes to play.
They're going to take it over from the 26-yard line. And like I said, 4:16 to go. They're already up 38-14. A good opportunity for some kids who may not see minutes otherwise to get some time tonight. And in the first 3 games, that's been the case for the Hornets. And, you know, you'll take the wins if you're the guys on varsity right now. But if you're thinking Coach Stork, Coach Patchy, you're getting these guys in varsity experience in 2 years. This time, these last 4 minutes become very valuable.
Absolutely. This is where you get your depth and your experience. And this will pay off for the Hornets.
First and 10 from the 26 for Henley. This one is going to be a handoff. Coming up the near side is Whitlock. 2 flags down in the backfield well after the play. Holding against Henley again. And this one coming back will also stop the clock with 4:06 to go in the final quarter.
Yeah, both officials agreed on that one. They saw the same thing. So we'll replay first down.
Another one of those things, if you're Coach Stork, you're happy with the win. Special teams, offensive holding, it's just been things that have nagged Henley in this game. Again, so far it hasn't impacted their ability to put this one away, but when you play teams like Mazama, like Hidden Valley, these things will come back to bite a little bit, and there's no denying that.
Yep. They'll watch the game video, and I'm sure they'll shore up any problem they see tonight, for sure.
First and 20. This one is going to be handed off to Whitlock. Ends up going backwards just a little bit. Takes a big hit and another flag down in the backfield. That was a big hit that Whitlock took.
Yeah, Logan did a nice job just hanging onto the football on that one. And we'll see what the penalty is here. Another hold.
Another one. Looks like we'll be coming back.
This might be a good time to introduce the 4th member of our broadcast team tonight, this mosquito. It's been
I look over at you sometimes and you're waving your hand in front of your face.
It's been bugging me all night long, but I'll give it credit where it's due there.
Yeah. Part of the broadcast, whether he likes it or not. First and forever for the Henley Hornets. Yard to gain is the 15-yard line. They're snapping it from the 47. This one, another carry for Whitlock coming up the near side. He's got some blocks and he's got some daylight. Trying to cut back across the middle of the field, and a gain of about 9 yards on the play. Brings up second down for the Hornets.
There's some nice running there. He's really good at finding space and accelerating into it. He played freshman ball last year, and he was very successful. A lot of long runs and a lot of long touchdowns for Logan last year.
Second down, and we'll call it 19. Second 19. No official spot, but it's about what it looks like as ball is snapped. Handed off to Whitlock again. No, this one's actually a quarterback keeper as Harper tried to move it himself and does for about a yard. And you hear the standing ovation from the Henley faithful here tonight. We did have a player down a little while ago. We took a break. Didn't really mention it too much, but he's getting some applause from the audience as he's loaded onto the cart. Unsure who it is, but the athletic director, Jesse Hamilton, taking him out and getting some love from the crowd tonight. Third down for Henley, and ending up going backwards as Crook County gets into the backfield for a big tackle for loss, losing about 4 yards on the play. Brings up fourth down for the Hornets.
this group just trying to feel their way through this Crook County team. Crook County's second team is pretty strong, so it's a good challenge for the Hornets.
And Crook County, to their credit, even though they're losing by 14, they've played a fairly good game so far to this point, and there's nothing shameful about the performance that they've put out tonight. 24 points rather. Deep pass down the sideline. It is incomplete. No flags down, so after that turnover on downs, Crook County will take over with 1:32 to go in the final quarter. Hornets lead 38-14.
Henley going for the home run there, and Luke Bennett almost brought it in. And we'll give Crook County a minute and a half here.
But Crook County's offense, they tried a lot of different things tonight. They tried to give it to their big kid up the middle, Braden Duke. He got stuffed out early. They tried to throw it down the sidelines, and Smith just overthrew his guy a couple of times. It was a good showing and a lot of heart really on the defensive end for Crook County up until this fourth quarter. They played really good football on the defensive end of the ball, but Shaw Stork, you give that kid room and he's going to expose you just a little bit, and that's what happened in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, I think both teams learned a lot about their personnel tonight. I know Crook County will work on some things. That the long ball seemed to work for them pretty well, I think, and they'll try some different things. I think Henley, most importantly, the kids are starting to fall into their roles now. They're starting to know where they sit, when they play. You'll see the running back rotation. You'll see those receivers we weren't sure about who would start at the beginning. We know who their best 3 or 4 are now. So Henley's really shaping into the team that I think that they want to be.
Now's the time to do it. You got one more preseason, or I guess a non-league game after this against Milwaukee, and that is next week. And then Mazama comes to your house on a week after that for the first league game in the Skyline Conference. 1st and 10 for Crook County, and it's a handoff. Robert Lacey is going to get back to the line of scrimmage and be taken down. Brings up 2nd and 10 for Crook County.
It's a sure-handed tackle there by Alex Limbreras. No gain.
Second and 10 coming up for the Cowboys. Are taking their time as we cross the 60-second mark. Left to go in the fourth quarter. That one going to be taken by Nelson as he gains maybe a yard on the play. 3rd down coming up for Crook County.
I think that was Alex again. Couple nice stops.
Student section getting their chance in as they load up onto the track down there. I've never seen that out here before. This is first time doing that. But the student section, they're into it as we wind down the last 14 seconds of the game. It's a handoff to the near side. Actually a pretty big one coming out for Crook County and Dakota Humphreys. He gains about 20 yards on the play. That's a solid run coming out for Crook County. And apologies, that was actually Jacob McKinnon on the run, sophomore, 5'6", as that will bring us to the end of the ball game. 38-14, Henley's 3-0 on the season, and they are feeling good about it. We're going to step aside, come back. When we do, going to talk about the game we just saw, and of course take a look around the state. That's all coming up on 104.3 and 90 Sports.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Swing by today and get road trip ready with our always free pre-trip safety check. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Trying to lose some weight and get in shape? Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club provides a clean and friendly workout environment with professional and experienced staff to help you achieve your goals. They offer state-of-the-art equipment, indoor tennis and pickleball courts, certified personal trainers, tons of group exercise classes. They're the best exercise facility in the Klamath Basin. Plus, they now have a smoothie bar to give you a nutritious boost after your workout. See and feel the difference at Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. It's the place to be.
And we welcome you back to the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960 Sports. The final score from Henley High School tonight, 38-14. And Kevin, the Henley Hornets, they continue to look good. They continue to look confident heading into Week 4.
Yeah, I really like a lot of the things they did tonight. One thing that we haven't seen in the first couple of games maybe is Braden Duke was a definite threat, and I like how Henley was able to control him on the offensive side from running and on defense as well. So that's just one more thing they can add to their arsenal as they work their way through the season.
Our player of the game tonight, without a doubt, Shaw Stork. Tell me about what you saw from him tonight.
Well, just speed and more speed, and Coach Pashy saw that he was able to get around that outside, and big gain after big gain. So, hats off to him for seeing that and going with that play most of the night. When you have him running as well as he's running, and then you have Tolson running as well as he's running, it's going to be tough for teams to key in on any one player. So really, really successful offensive play tonight.
Between those two guys you mentioned, Tolson Higgins and Shaw Stork tonight, 4 touchdowns between them. Shaw Stork had 3 of them, one from 4 yards out, one from 50, and one from 75. Tolson Higgins' touchdown was from 10 yards out. A couple other scores for Henley tonight was Owen Sheen from 46 yards out and Garrett Northcutt punching at him from 14. Henley tonight had 15 first downs. Compare that with just 7 from Crook County. Crook County was 1 for 6 tonight on third down conversions. Henley was 0 for 4. Didn't have to play on third down too many times. Henley did not try to convert on fourth down tonight. Crook County was 1 for 2 on fourth down conversions this evening. And final score tonight, 38-14. We're going to step aside, come back, and put a bow on the evening for you. We'll take a look around the state. We've got some final scores from here in town and over the hill. That's coming up on 104.3 and 960 Sports. The score from Henley tonight, 38-14. The Hornets with the win.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Welcome back to 104.3 960 Sports on MyBasin.com. Final score tonight from Henley High School, 38-14. Henley coming away with the win here tonight. Not the only game going on in the area. We start at the 6A level, round out some of the Southern Oregon schools. North Medford beating Sherwood 28-21 right now in the fourth quarter. Final from Grants Pass as McNary beat them 41-0. Roseburg topping Southridge 37-7. And South Medford is trailing Lake Oswego right now 28-7 in the third quarter. At the 5A level, Crater is beating Churchill. In fact, as a matter of fact, the final from Churchill, 15-13. Crater with the win there. Some finals from the 4A as Cascade, the number 6 team in the state, beat the number 5 team in the state, Mazama, 31-28 tonight. Estacada beat Seaside 30-14, the number 2 team in the state. Estacada with the win there. Other than that, look down at the 3A. Cascade Christian beating Wairika 44-0. That's back-to-back 44-0 losses for Wairika. Also, St. Mary's beat Pleasant Hill tonight 20-14. So, Kevin, first successful night of football in the Basin. It was good to be back home. And the Henley Hornets on the road next week against Milwaukee. They look good. And as we head into league play in the Skyline Conference, Mazama, Hidden Valley, some of the teams of note, I think the Henley Hornets are on people's radar now.
I think so too. Their offense can score, and their defense can stop, and that's going to be the combination for a good season if they can continue that. Starting off league play with Mazama that's a big ask, and that'll be a fun game here in a couple weeks.
That's going to be in a couple weeks from now. Mazama 1-2 on the season. Henley is 3-0. They top the Skyline Conference. Behind them, it's Hidden Valley, North Valley, Mazama, Klamath Union, and Phoenix. That's how the Skyline Conference is after this Friday evening. That about does it for us tonight. Thanks for being here on the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960 Sports. You know, you can watch an archived replay of this event and many others on MyBasin.com. MyBasin.com is your home for everything going on in the Basin, from news to sports and everything in between. Check us out online, MyBasin.com. Once again, the final score tonight, Henley with the win over Crook County 38-14. I'd like to thank Henley Athletic Director Jesse Hamilton for getting us set up in the bleachers tonight. Also, thanks to Crook County head coach Pard Smith for working with the broadcast crew, getting our lineups, confirming rosters with us, getting us everything we need this evening. Wishing him and his boys a safe trip back home to Primeville. Also, special thanks to Henley head coach Alex Stork and his staff. I'm sure they're proud of the win that they had tonight. Final score 38-14. Henley 3-0 on the season after the win over Crook County. For Nick Bradford running the live stream this evening and my partner Kevin Petrick, I'm Josh Eldridge. Good night from Henley High School.